Bing bong.
Giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Oh, yeah. Y'all heard me. Bing, bong. Need to hear that again after Sunday, y'all. We need to. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by Texas Family Fitness. I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. And I got my guy, my brother, Akoye Media in the green room waiting. Going to talk about this Cowboys team. Some Giants, obviously, right? We got to talk about these Giants, but we're not fitting to break down the Jimmys and Joes and X's and O's. I mean, like we did before. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Honestly, I really want to get into the secondary. Akoye dropped a great film session. Stevie Mack, if you can, drop that in the chat. Talking about this Cowboys secondary, pairing it with the front seven and something that can make this whole entire defense great. And a little fun we'll have prior to the morning roundup with Urban Meyer. You know, I mean, come on now. What's going on with Urban Meyer, bro? And some updates, COVID updates with the news. We are getting some players returning, tight ends. Some players did not practice. Giants are going to be without some folks. So stick around for all that. It'll be a good show today. And we got a little treat for y'all. We figured out how to get the phone lines to operate where Akoye can hear you, I can hear you, and you guys can hear us. So make sure y'all stick around when we open up these phone lines so you guys can call in. Pulse of the Nation is always lit. It's going to be even more lit with my guy Akoye joining. So let's get this thing popping, man. We hop into the chat, see what y'all talking about in here. Mark Smith, what's up, Mark Smith? Ian, Keith Shep, Lance Bell on Facebook, Stevie Mack, the My Guy. What's up, Sully? TC915, what's going on? Adam Mack, Joey and John and Larry on Facebook. Facebook in the building early. B Bird, what's up, B Bird? The original OG. Brandon, Tariq, what's up, Tariq? Ian, Linwood, Mackenzie, two-time. Rudy, Boxster, Cowboy, CJ Richards, always. CJ, he on time today. See, he always get me when I ain't on time. I got to get you when you on time now. Twan Hawkins, Dario, Larry, Alpha Mason, Nisi, Big Boy from VA. What's up, Big Boy? Yeah, Alpha Mason, tough. Yeah, Dario and Chuck and Tim on Facebook, man. And many more coming through. Listen, we appreciate y'all being here. I think this is going to be a good, fun show. So make sure y'all stick around for all that. And if you do miss it, make sure you run it back. maybe I'll see if I can get Akoye to take something from the show, put it on his channel. That way, yeah. Let me get it, man.
Logically retarded, but I'm getting it.
You way more technologically advanced than you want to give yourself credit for. I seen the breakdown.
Maybe I'm just lazy.
Maybe, hey, I don't know, but you know what you don't. But yeah, so if y'all miss it, you'll be able to run it back via his channel, my channel, or on podcast. So make sure y'all tune into that, man. Make sure y'all tune into that. All right, let's jump into the roundup so we can get into this good Cowboys content, y'all.
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Somebody in the chat. Yeah, somebody in the chat said, Akoye about to get me demonetized already. Nah, man. Hey, listen, man. This is the morning roundup.
But I was like, what did I say? It came back a month later, like, you got to get this video down, brother. It's over.
You good, bro. This is the morning roundup presented by Texas Family Fitness. Your solution for your fitness goals, whether it be toning up, strengthening up, sports, stress relief. Our friends over at TFF have everything you need, from state-of-the-art equipment, group classes, or experienced, professional, certified trainers. Cool thing about Texas Family Fitness, something going on right now that we're doing, a free jersey giveaway and a 3-month membership for free, if I'm not mistaken. What you can do, go to Texas Family Fitness anywhere via Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Follow them and then share it by tagging 2 of your friends, right? Tag 2 of your friends. And once we see you have done that, you'll be entered in a drawing for a free jersey giveaway. I'll have more information on that throughout this week and Sunday and actually on Monday as well. So tune in for that. Here we go, man. Injury updates. Let's get to it. Tony Pollard did not practice yesterday. So TP is still nursing the injury. We'll see if he's going to return, which is weird because Coach McCarthy came out in his morning presser and he had said, yeah, Tony Pollard's going to be back at practice. Well, he wasn't back at practice. He was a DNP. Sean McKeon, I figure that out, participated in full. A lot of people are probably like, why do we care about Sean McKeon? Well, the 12 personnel package and the tight ends in general just haven't been hitting over the last 4 weeks. And I think when you got Blake Jarwin missing, in and out, Sean McKeon, I don't think Jeremy Sprinkle's that guy to do that 12 stuff with. McKeon gives you a passing option, so I think getting him back is going to help with this offense and getting some continuity, right? That's a term that I'm going to use a lot with Akoye today. Is this offense doesn't have a lot of continuity going on with it. And also, Donovan Wilson and Justin Hamilton return. I'm just saying, this defense continues to get healthier and healthier as we get closer and closer to the end of the regular season. I don't know how many games we're going to get Dono for. Y'all know me. I'm not really relying on him long term anymore because he gets dinged up. He plays like a kamikaze type of player. But if he going to give me 2, 3, 4 games, I know he going to give me 110% with those games, man. He going to take somebody out with him. So good to have him back. Justin Hamilton adds another great rotational piece if needed. Big body and just, I don't know that we've seen a Cowboys defense this healthy this late like this. So I'm excited for it, and we're going to talk a lot about that today. We did talk a lot about it yesterday, but we'll add on to it with my guy Akoye. He's a defensive guru, in my opinion. Y'all ain't hear what he said.
Super chat.
Well, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. Yo, listen, we might have to do it. This might have to be one of them Jones we record and Three Giants added to the reserve COVID list. That's 5 total. Here, I'm going to name them all for you. 5 Giant players have tested positive since Monday. Wide receivers, Kadarius Toney and John Ross, out on Sunday. Linebackers, Cam Brown and Ashane, not even going to try to pronounce his last name, out. cornerback Aaron Robinson, in addition to Xavier McKinney, all on the COVID-19 list, all most likely out on Sunday. I think that's huge. That is massive. At least I'm looking John Ross, Kadarius Toney, and who's the other one I said? Xavier McKinney. All these guys are integral parts of their team, and they're not going to have them on Sunday, Akoye. So when I get to you here, we got to talk a little bit about that and how that affects. And this is why I say, if you see this down here, folks, time to get right. This is a get right game. And let me bring my boy Akoye Media up in this thing here. And y'all already know, man, make sure y'all give a shout out to Akoye Media. What's up, brother?
What up, man? Appreciate the love, man.
Hey.
Thanks to everybody, too, showing love in the chat.
You're not,
man.
You're not a
yoke
today,
the Giants, bro. Man. Let's go. Yeah, not a yoke. I'm not a yoke.
You're not a yoke today.
Damn.
I fixed you up.
Oh, damn.
You know what I'm saying?
People might have started calling me that. I might have been like one of my little pseudonyms or something, though, man. I might have to steal that. I'm gonna make a t-shirt and say a Yoki on it.
You gotta switch it around there. What's the Y gonna be first?
What do you call them? Anagrams, like Omicron is moronic. That's an anagram.
See, y'all don't
we
know.
Ain't gonna talk about that.
Y'all don't know how deep Akoye is for real, bro. Like, he sent me something the other day that had me for the, that's. For,
oh, you watched it? You watched it?
I half of it. I didn't watch all of it. I couldn't get through all. I had to go back to work.
That, bro. Then you gonna love it, man.
I watched half of it.
And I would like that.
I felt like I'm sitting here stuck like this. Like, what the? Am I real?
I got him.
Apologies, y'all. Apologies, but this is what me and Akoye do.
I thought so. I was like, he gonna be snapping when he watched this.
I watch stuff like that, man. I do.
Me too. Yeah, that's what I'm into.
Marcus is into that too. But so listen, y'all. Giants Cowboys. I dubbed this the get right game because right now the Cowboys and Koya, I don't gotta ask you. I know you know who this character is. Y'all remember Can't Get Right from Life? That's the Dallas Cowboys offense right now. For those who don't know, this is Can't Get Right. Okay? He's a gentleman that came to the campground, couldn't speak too well, didn't talk much at all, but he could play some dang on baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jangalang coached him up and whatnot. I'm the pappy
rest in peace, Bernie Mac, too.
Rest in peace, Bernie Mac.
That's a great character.
Rest in peace, Bernie Mac. But this is the Cowboys offense. And if you don't know who Can Get Right is, go to YouTube, type in Can Get Right, and that's the Dallas Cowboys offense. He can't speak. He can't seem to get right, but he can do one thing well, and that's play some ball. And that's the Dallas Cowboys offense. Right now, they can't seem to speak and get the communication right. But we know they can play ball, fam. We know they can play ball. So it's real frustrating, Akoye, when you see the offense over the last month and a half go through these continuity issues, these communication issues, the quarterback and wide receiver connections not there, the run game, it's just all not right. But this game against this defense, and we've both seen this defense over the last month, I feel like they can get off on this. What's your thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys getting right this week?
I mean, I think this defense will carry us through this game. I mean, obviously. Offensively, I think it all starts up front, though. I think we have had issues since Denver, since we started shuffling around the offensive line. And I know you see the symptomatic results everywhere else, like with the passing game and the running game. But when you go back to the film and start looking at it, you can say, okay, Zeke's hurt, but you can also look at the fact that the offensive line is making it so that they have to make guys miss even on the larger runs that we have, like Tony Pollard's toss and the week before in the Saints game, CeeDee Lamb's toss last week. Yeah. You can see that there's bodies in the backfield. It's just that we have athletic talent back there that can make guys miss and still make plays. Zeke unfortunately can't really do that right now because he can't cut off that knee right now. So So he's just like a torpedo that can go full speed straight ahead. But these guys are not blowing guys off the ball. They reverted, and I don't know if it's because Joe Philbin was out. I don't know what it is, but the offensive line and the way we are calling run plays and the way we're blocking on them has reverted back to the way we were that year where Fredericks had just came back from the Guillain-Barré injury, where we weren't firing off the ball. We look like we're getting hit on every play, and it's a war of attrition, man. Fatigue settling it. So I think everything's offensive line based. But the fact that we're playing the Giants should be good. It's like, okay, if you can't get right against the Giants, I will worry. I won't. That's
how I feel,
I'm just
bro.
gonna. I will worry.
I said that yesterday, Akoye. I'm like, all right, listen, man, I get it. Saints defense could be tough, right? Like that Denver Broncos defense. We all thought it was just a bad game in Denver Broncos defense. We see what the Chiefs are doing, right? The Chiefs defense is. No one wants to talk about this because it ain't the Cowboys, but the Chiefs defense is carrying that team this year.
Yeah, 100%.
Period.
Last 6 weeks, it's been the defense.
It's been the defense. So
we woke them up.
Yeah, well, and then it seems like the Raiders wake up their offense. So maybe the Giants can be our Raiders, right?
Right.
You're
exactly right.
Because
I hope they stump on the Star. Are we playing in Dallas or are we playing in New York?
We're in New York.
Oh, damn.
In New York. And
I would say stump on the Star like the Raiders did, like they did the Chiefs and get your ass whooped like your daddy used to.
It'd be walk. See y'all Friday. It'll be like Washington next week will be in Dallas, so we'll finally get a home game. But they're going on this 3-game road stretch. And before I get into their defense, Cowboys, Dak Prescott in games where it's kind of cold, it's been muddy, and that's why you need to carry this run game. And I'll get back into the run game in a second.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the Giants' defense, man, over the last not the last 8 games, but 8 games this year, they've allowed 100 yards on the ground, okay? Last week, they gave up 152 yards on the ground to the Chargers. And they've had 7 games this year where they've allowed over 400 total yards and a 500-yard performance by the Cowboys, by the way, in Week 5. So this is why I believe that this is, a game where the offense can come out there and have some success. No Xavier McKinney, who has been a guy that they've counted on this year, Akoye. Leonard Williams, I have no idea if he's going to play. He had messed his elbow up, so he may not play. So there's really no excuse this week, man. You'll have consecutive weeks of your receivers being there, of practices, of the COVID thing not getting in your way. So I think we need to be able to start seeing this rhythm and flow get back right, because did you see the Washington game? Did you notice the miscommunication when you were watching the tape? It was pretty bad.
And it's crazy because all they had to do is run too high. That's it. You run too high, we start calling West Coast style plays, and it seems like we can't throw short for some reason. We can get the long stuff, no problem, up the seams, up the middle of the field. Dak is still on fire there. But everything close to the line of scrimmage looked real flicked, last week. That interception he threw to Collins, Dak is not comfortable. It has nothing to do with mechanics.
You mean Holcomb?
Has nothing to.
You mean the first one?
Collins.
Oh, that was a bad throw, man.
Whoa,
terrible.
I don't know. Yeah, he's uncomfortable because we know he can make these throws in his sleep. He's thinking about what's going on around him, and you can tell. Because when he's calm or he's just in the flow state, and what you call flow state, is that Dak is like, I think Dak is amongst the top quarterbacks in the league when he's in that flow state. But when he's uncomfortable, just like a lot of these other guys, and I don't want to beat him up for it, because any quarterback that's uncomfortable is going to struggle. But Dak, it seems like he's still hearing footsteps for some reason. It has nothing to do with ability, it's communication,
injury,
like you said.
Yeah,
his legs aren't quite right either, though. When he goes to run, that burst isn't there. He's not.
What burst? That boy ain't never had no burst.
But Dak could take off on you and get a couple yards. Like Dak started to run, and it's like he looked like Peyton Manning moving around out there.
He looked
man.
like, man, listen,
slow as hell.
That boy,
what Dak doing? Like when he running to his left, he don't look quite right. I don't know if it's the cleats because he was in Washington or what, but his legs just look stuck in the mud.
Here's the thing with Dak. He ain't never been fleet of foot. What he is, he a locomotive. If you can get him good, that's why those read options were so good, because there was no thinking. It was pull it out and run straight. And he get some weight behind him and he could chuck you and things like that. Now, behind the line of scrimmage, he could dance around and run around and make a throw and things like that. But when it comes to just straight up making somebody miss, dang, Dak Prescott. It ain't really never been that.
You're doing it better than he doing it. Like that,
that
third and three. Third and three. No, I'm talking about last year when he got hurt. Third and three this year, though, last week. 3rd and 3. He has, I think, 52. I don't remember what that kid's name is, but he's out in zone right above him, probably like,
10
yards off the ball. That could have, Peyton Manning could have ran that for 3 yards, bro. Like, he's gun shy when it comes to running. He's gun shy with the ball. Just right now, it's just not right. And I don't blame Dak for it. I think he's not confident in the guys in front of him right now, and he can't say that. So we have to say it.
He can't say it, and you can see the players coming out saying certain things, and you can see the coaches coming out. They won't drop a name, but if you listen and read between the lines, they see that this is a collective cluster of things going on right now. But he's the head of the table, right? So he's going to fall on the sword, and he had his problems. The missed interception. Right. The missed throw to Collins, interception, bad throw. The decision to throw that rock with Holcomb, bad decision plus bad throw. And that's really been the most disappointing thing for me from the game was his decision making. And some of the decisions he didn't make, right? Like taking off and running. There was a couple times where he had that in front of him and things like that. But I think the fix, Akoye, could just be simple, and it could just be continuity and communication. And the best way to get your communication back on track is continuity. Right. These boys just haven't had a really good stretch of practices and games together due to a bunch of circumstances. Right. And during the season, that can be a challenge when you're, A, going on the road, B, in and out of lineups and things like that, and having to play with your third and fourth guys and having to overcome these things. So it's going to look ugly, and I think it's been looking ugly, bro.
Ugly is an understatement, bro.
So
I'll be scratching my head out there. Like, those 4 plays, the fumble, when he's trying to hand off, he just trips. It looked like that was a rookie move.
No. What's the name? Tripped him.
Who
center.
Tripped him? See, I didn't even peep that.
Yeah.
And I ain't even going to get on badass. You know what I mean? I ain't going to get on him because badass looked horrible. But anyway, the pitch. McGovern he's like the polar opposite of Connor Williams. Connor Williams struggles with power. McGovern struggles with
space,
IQ, and speed. Yeah, if you play with him on a stunt, or you can outmaneuver him pretty easy. Like, they had one play in particular where they had a moving offensive line where everybody was shifting to the right, and McGovern turns his body, perpendicular to the line of scrimmage. And I'm like, soon as he turned his hips, I think it was number 97 just ran right by him. I'm like, yo, you didn't like, sidestep,
you talking
laterally.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
I'm like, what are you doing? So, the offensive line is definitely in question, man. But that pitch in the red zone, I was pissed off about 4 or 5 plays I saw out there where it's like, what is going on, man? It's like drive killing plays at that, or game changing plays. Like, those turnovers were crucial.
I think one of the main problems, and we talked about this here in the chat, by the way, shout out to y'all in the chat here. We're about 200 and so deep combined. Appreciate you guys joining us this early morning. Is an issue we're having with running the ball is that we can't run the ball when we get into that green zone. And
we don't.
We don't, right?
We don't.
I can live with it between the 20s a little bit, between the 30s, right? All right, it's struggling between the 30s. Cool, you have an offense that can move the ball downfield. But where the run game is missed most for any team, if you don't have one, is in the red zone, right? Because you don't have a lot of field anymore. So it crunches up, it gets shortened, and Dak is still. I don't think Dak is still the greatest red zone quarterback just yet because they took his legs away. So now, if I don't have to worry about the threat of your legs and your scheme is not a red zone, like I don't think the Cowboys have a passing scheme in the red zone that is a help to your quarterback.
Because we have a vertical offense. Yep, you need that east to west offense in the red zone.
Right, and we don't have.
That's how we get beat. Yeah,
we don't have that, and we don't have a Cole Beasley that is so quick in that slot, that Hunter Renfrow that can get open real fast. So really, our passing red zone is based off of A, you messing up, your defense messing up, or B, we're going to throw it up to 88. We're going to throw it up to 13. That is the passing red zone if you really, really look at it. Or Dak scrambling around and finding somebody. There's really not much, in my opinion, schematics. And I don't know, y'all tell me if I'm wrong on this, but that's how I'm seeing it with our red zone passing offense.
I mean, the way I feel about it, man, is like we spread them out for no reason in the red zone.
Oh, gosh.
We'll go power. Last week, we went power between the 20s. And even with Zeke's injury, I was watching how he was running. He can't cut, but he can torpedo for 7 yards. He was doing it consistently. in
Downhill.
between the 20s. Yeah. And when the offensive line was doing that, they actually were listening to us because we said we want to see some of those bigger packages. They did that. And it was actually working the best that it could with Zeke's injury. He was going straight lines, and so was Clemens. Clemens ran pretty well last week. So with that, when we get to the red zone, though, we go right back to shotgun and we start running out of that. I'm like,
Putting
well,
Zeke out
why
wide.
don't you just do what you were doing to get up here?
Jesus.
Run power and run it 3 straight times. Power. If they can stop that, then they stop it. But we'll be at the 10 throwing the ball for
or 15.
three consecutive times. Run it. And then continue to run it. And then if you're on a 3rd and short situation, run it again because you can go forward and 4th down and run it again. You know what I'm saying? I want to see. I don't care about anything cute. We get too cute in the red zone. They saved us on a play where I think we had an illegal formation with that fake toss, that option route where you fake the toss to Lamb and try to toss to Zeke. Why are we doing stuff like that in the red zone? Just run the ball.
He glitches. I don't. Kellen Moore he's also culpable in this. Dak is culpable in this. The offensive line, the run, everybody. It's a whole collective cluster. But what you're specifically talking about, if you go watch my breakdown of what I thought were some of the issues on the offensive side of the ball, they ran that power. I call it the weird fullback offensive lineman spot. Right? They do that. It was cute at the beginning of the year when you put Lil McGovern in there and it was something different. And then you did it the correct way. You would get into the 10, the 15, and you would run it with that package. Why? I don't think they should be running that package at your own 20. I don't think they should be running that package at your own 30. Use that in the red zone where you're struggling to run the ball. Because going Hawk package or whatever the hell it is at your own 20-yard line and getting 3 yards in cloud of dust does nothing. But if I get 1st and 10 from the 12 and I get 3 or 4 yards, now I'm at the 8. That changes everything.
Do it again.
Do it again.
Now you're at the 3.
Right.
Do it again. You know what I'm saying?
I don't understand Kellen's. I don't understand Kellen's flow. Like the plays he calls, I said it. They aren't bad plays. It's when and the timing of how he calls them is so frustrating.
It's like if he was a golfer, he putts when you're supposed to drive, and he drives when you're supposed to putt. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like when he's not a finisher. And I come at him all the time because he has great play design, but you can see there's no aggression there when it comes to the red zone. And I looked at some of the offense too. I know we're not, going super deep on the offense.
We're talking whatever.
That slant that Gallup sat down on that almost was an interception earlier in the game. Yeah. You could look on the front side of that play. That was one of those audibles that Dak actually called because you can see Cooper didn't run a route. Cooper ran out to block on the front side of that play. So that wasn't a pass play. He audibled, and they had a miscommunication there. So some of that happens too, where Dak might audible out of a run, and you can see that they're doing it based on the blocking scheme and the alignments when you watch it on film. But I don't know what to say. It's like when we get in the red zone, they forget that they're paying Zeke ridiculous money and letting him play injured. If you're going to let him play injured, let him do the one thing that we think he can still do, which is barrel forward. For 3-4 yards. He can do that. He's still doing it. He's still doing it. And allow this offensive line, if you're going to bring Steele out there right next to Collins, allow this and then bring Williams out there in the backfield as a fullback, let them fire off the ball. Like, allow them to do that in the red zone. I think we'll have a lot more success than we can give ourselves credit for. Like, when you look at teams from back in the day, like, your LaDainian Tomlinsons, your Steven, what's the kid's name from
Steven Jackson?
No, the dude. Well, Steven Jackson too. He's another one they use that way. The dude from Seattle, number 37. Forget his name.
Oh, Sean Alexander.
That was his name, Sean Alexander.
MVP. Had like that one MVP year. Yeah, Sean Alexander.
Yeah, that dude, bald head dude. That Roy Williams knocked the hell out into next week. That guy. But when those guys had a lot of touchdowns because the one thing they would do with them, and Marion Barber, when we had Marion Barber,
red zone,
DeMarco Murray, let them run in the red zone. Power, that's where you run power. The cute stuff is cool with me between the 20s. I don't mind. Right. We need chunk plays. They work when you have space. But when you don't have that space, you need to just let it be known. We in a phone booth, and it's either you or me. Right. And that's the way it need to be. And we got the guys for that up front. Our offensive line is good at that. We're still maulers up front. We're just not asked to maul anybody,
No, you're absolutely right, and everybody's kind of agreeing here. No cute plays in the green/red zone. The green zone part, and he knows what I'm talking about. When I say green zone, I mean like that 35-yard line when you cross about the 30, 35. Even there, I'm okay with it if you do something there. But I don't like it when we get into the red zone, man. It's extremely frustrating because you got, even though you don't have a healthy Tyron Smith or whatever, but you still got Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Lyle Collins, and you bringing in other big boys. Come on, man. Football's not that difficult when you get down there, in my opinion. In regards to calling plays.
And you got a few philosophies. Like if you look at good offensive coordinators, right? The good ones understand there's two different things. Like Kellen Moore calls plays as if he doesn't have talent. See what I'm saying? You have talented players. So you just put that talent in a position to do what it does. You don't need to trick the defense. You have talent. You have the most talented receivers in the league. Put them in position to just create mismatches, but we don't need to trick them. We use too much trickery. We're trying to just trick our way into the end zone as if we don't have talent. When you look at a guy like Sean Payton, or McVay, when McVay didn't have talent, he used a lot of misdirections and a lot of things that in his scheme to out leverage defensive players as if he didn't have the talent out there. Before he had Odell and before he had Cooks and Odell, he would do that with Woods and just Cup. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you watched what they did, what the Saints tried to do with us, they don't have the talent outside right now, but they're still able to move the ball. And even with Taysom Hill, they're still able to move the ball because he just plays to his player. He calls plays to his player's strengths. He's not trying to trick anybody. He's just creating mismatches and letting his guys do what they do. Like we had Tony Pollard all the way up into that Saints game. Tony Pollard, he's done great. Don't get me wrong. He's played great. But you would forget. You're forgetting that Tony Pollard, to me, and I'm not saying this because I'm not a homer. I'm just watching the film. Tony Pollard is on the same level as a Kamara and a Christian McCaffrey, in my opinion. So you wouldn't think it with the way we use them, though.
We don't use them that way.
Right.
We don't feature Tony Pollard. Then we had this conversation, I think, last week where we said that Tony Pollard's a guy you can get out in space and mismatch and run actual routes. Instead, we're doing.
I broke him down in college.
Yeah,
he's a wide receiver for real.
Instead, Akoye, he's just
I'm
running.
talking about jump ball wide receiver too. You could throw jump balls to Tony Pollard. That's what they were doing with him in Memphis, man.
Well, instead they bring in Zeke and they put him out wide.
While his knee is messed up. And throw him the ball too. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh, bro, it's so third and goal in the Washington game.
What are we doing?
We go 5 wide again. This is the second time, not 5 wide. Spread empty, man, with Zeke out wide in the slot. Okay, it's a simple read for Dak. If the safety shades the middle, I go to Schultz or I go to CD Lamb on the post corner. If the safety goes over by Schultz and CD Lamb, which he should, then I come to the slot, which is going to be 1-on-1 up the middle. Fine call. Terrible personnel package. Why is Ezekiel Elliott running a seam route on one leg up this? He's not going to be in position to make any type of catch like that unless he's wide open. Why is Cedric Wilson out in there? Why is Noah Brown? Whoever, not Noah Brown, but anybody else.
Put CD, if you're going to throw the ball out of the backfield anyway, put Cedric Wilson in and put CD Lamb in the backfield.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that now that we don't have, Pollard healthy. Put CD Lamb in the backfield and let him create mismatches. They tried it last week. I will give them that, though. They tried that a couple times last week with CD Lamb in the backfield. Yeah, but they didn't do it enough. Like CD Lamb, you talked about, we don't have a Cole Beasley type of guy. That's supposed to be what CD Lamb is doing for us right now. And he's getting stats, and I give him that. But you can tell the connection between CD Lamb and Dak is totally different between him and Cooper. Totally, it seems like Cooper. He only needs to find Cooper 2 times a game, and it works.
Well,
and then with Gallup, it's like every time he throws in his direction, it's an amazing play.
Well,
but him and CD Lamb, they just can't connect. It's like they don't know what each other's thinking at all season. At that, it's crazy.
I think it's, and I'm not blaming Michael Gallup. I would say the connection, the big play with Michael Gallup and Dak is on deep routes. Mm-hmm. It's on or smoke screens. But when it comes to having to call an audible or having Michael Gallup having to read the defense, something's not right with MG and Dak. I don't think MG is really reading things correctly right now. This is 2 games in a row.
On that audible, on that slant, yeah.
There's 2 games in a row, bro.
He should have ran across that guy's face. That would have been a pick 6 right there.
Which one?
Lamb that showed. the slant route where Dak throws he looks like he was throwing a CD, but he was actually throwing a Gallup.
In the
But
first
Gallup just Gallup
series?
just looked like he was running a smoke screen when he should have ran a slant on an audible. He didn't run a slant. He didn't cross his guy's face. And,
yes. So that's the one miscommunication.
Yeah.
Then you had the other one, same drive. And I think it was Kellen Moore came out and admitted somebody, he didn't want to drop a name, but it was clearly Michael Gallup, was supposed to continue their route up the seam. It would have been an easy touchdown. Instead, for whatever reason, Michael Gallup sits down. And you got Michael Gallup, you got CeeDee Lamb, both within 5 yards of each other. This happened frequently, by the way. And then you had the Amari Cooper on. There were, and this is continuing. This is multiple weeks of this happening. And so they got to figure this thing out. Earlier in the year, though, somebody asked me, on Twitter, well, what's the difference? I said, well, earlier in the year, the offense had continuity. There was 88, there was 19, there was 86, there was 1. And then there was you had the same offensive line, and obviously you had a healthy Zeke. But I'm just talking about the pass offense. Right. There was continuity. You didn't see this many miscommunications because everybody was there and they played, they practiced, and we were all good. And this is no offense to Michael Gallup. Once Michael Gallup came back and guys started coming in and out of the lineup, you saw that kind of get all out of whack. Michael Gallup had to be in positions he wasn't used to being in. And think about it. Last year, you had all 3 wide receivers. Michael Gallup played one type of
he played X.
He played X.
Yeah.
But with those guys in and out, now he has to play everywhere. And I think we got to see, okay, this is why he is an X receiver. This is why he's a wide receiver 2, because a wide receiver 1 can do all these things at a high level. He's still learning that.
And the one thing you touched on, you said healthy Zeke, but the one thing that people are not saying a lot of, because we hear a lot of, and I'm one of them that says, sit Zeke because we want him for the playoffs. But the one thing that we don't speak on, since Zeke got injured in that Broncos game, this offense has been different. Period.
Especially the run game.
It's because even though Zeke might have not been getting the yards that we wanted him to get early on in the season or even last season, Zeke is a threat that teams prepare for and have to load the box to stop, and they pay attention to him. Now that he's not a threat, we see a lot more too high safety because they don't feel that they need to come down in the box to stop Zeke right now. Yep. So you're seeing different defenses played against the Cowboys for the first time in probably 2 or 3 years, because when Zeke's there, even if he's not getting yards, they know they need to bring that extra man to stop him, period. So we got to give credit where credit's due when it comes to Zeke and his effect on this offense. And I think that's part of the reason why he's still trying to drag himself out there to play, because Zeke is integral to it is. But Zeke's integral to this offense, and it's showing right now, because when you don't have to load the box against Zeke, when you don't have to load the box now, they have to get open honestly, earnestly, and they can't do it. They're trying to trick their way open or trick their way into success in this scheme, and they're having trouble with miscommunication. They're shuffling around the offensive line and so on. Yeah. But Zeke is an integral part of this offense, and when he's not healthy and able to threaten that defense, this entire offense is out of whack.
Yeah. Zeke's injury, because a lot of people are trying to figure out what's wrong with the offense or what's wrong with the run game. Zeke's injury has to be right up there. He's a completely different player. He's a completely different player than he was in the first 6 weeks, because he can't make those jump cuts. He's not making any hard redirection type of moves. It's straight downhill. He kind of looks like how he looked in 2000. I think it was like 19 or even last year. He was more of just a rumbling, stumbling, bumbling power back. Whereas the first 6 weeks we saw him kind of moving around. And let's go ahead and add on top of that, Zeke's injury along with the offensive line situation, right? This in and out, everybody's moving everywhere type of thing, along with Kellen Moore, how he calls plays, along with not featuring a Tony Pollard. Because as much as we love Zeke, like Ezekiel Elliott this ain't 2016. I think we all understand that, right? This ain't 2016, and it's obviously no longer him in the first 5-6 weeks where he was looking really good. But a run game is a run game.
Right.
If Zeke was hobbled and you still were getting off with Tony Pollard, I think teams would still respect it. Problem is, you're not getting off at all. No matter who's in there, your run game has not been to a point where defenses say, we got to come up. So now, and this is what I joked about, I think the blueprint is, all right, I'll get 4 or 5 yards. Maybe you'll get 4 or 5 yards on the ground.
Right.
But I know your best bet in this vertical offense is to air it out. So I'll just put I'll just put 7 or 8 in coverage, and we'll live to fight another day if you complete it. It ain't gonna be a deep ball though.
I always go back to Parcells. I know everybody like get tired of those references, but you remember we had Troy Hambrick.
Troy.
We had Richie Anderson.
Fullback.
Yeah. Parcells used to run the ball anyway with those guys. See what I'm saying? Run it anyway. Just run the ball, period. You know, I'm not saying run the ball when it's a better option to pass, but establishing the run means something. It means something because even when you have a defense that's thinking that way, even when they're thinking that way, it's a war of attrition, man. And even when they're thinking that way, you want to pull those guys down. We actually did it well. Like when Dak was rolling out, he did one early to CeeDee Lamb, a good a naked boot, and he caught CeeDee Lamb out on the edge. And he caught another one, the one where he threw the interception. He just threw that late. Schultz was wide open for a while before Dak recognized that it's a 2-man route. How do you not know Schultz?
I'm gonna tell you why.
What else are you looking at? I don't understand it.
I'm gonna tell you when you're done. Go ahead.
Yeah, somebody jumped in his face, but before that,
that ain't it.
Oh, that ain't it. Go ahead. Tell me.
So earlier in that game, that same play was called, same formation, same play, bootleg to the right, and they got CeeDee Lamb wide open. The defensive end crashed. He had nobody in his face. CD was wide open. What they didn't recognize was that Washington actually was expecting that. And instead of having Landon Collins over CeeDee Lamb in that slot, they put the corner back there and they had Landon Collins playing back. So when he came out of his action, his eyes were at CeeDee Lamb, right? Because, hey, it was open earlier.
And when he came back to
Schultz, he completely missed 55 because the guy was in front of him. And instead of just taking a sack or throwing it away, he made a terrible decision. That play is called and designed to get an easy throw, okay? Dak, once that easy throw was gone, you throw it away. You're at that point in time in the game, you don't make an unnecessary hero move. There's no point, bro. You're up 14 points. Just take the sack or throw it away. Dak made a bad decision, compounded with a bad throw, and that's where you get the pick six.
Great point, man. Great point.
But
a lot of people missed the CeeDee Lamb play too.
Well, because it happened early in the game.
Great point.
And I only picked it up because when I was watching the film and breaking it down, I'm like, that's the same damn play through the pick. And I said, let me put these together so people can see what happened. I forget where I was going, though, prior to that. I was trying to look up something. Oh, the Washington game, you talk about running the ball. They technically, you're right. They did get some momentum. It was a gritty ground game, right? It had 122 yards, most of that being up. It was tough. It was physical, tough, hard. It was hard. It is what it is. But that physical part, like you said, is important on offense, right? War of attrition. You got to, make them feel you.
Yep.
I want to let me add something to that, Akoye. I definitely want to make them feel me, but I also want to be efficient with it. Yeah. Right? Like I don't want to get 3.2 yards per carry and just run the ball 35 times just because, right?
Right.
I liken it to what the Chiefs do. The Chiefs are not a running football team, but when they run, it's efficient. You know what I'm saying? They average like 4.5 or 4.6 yards per carry. That is efficient. If I can get 4 yards a pop and I'm only running it 22 to 25 times a game, I live with it. You know what I'm saying? But the Cowboys haven't been doing that over the last 6 weeks, and it's been a problem. So,
yep.
All right. I think we covered most of the offense there. I hope y'all enjoyed that.
We done smacked them up. You know? Left and right.
It feels good to get somebody else in here though to talk about it with. Because I know they probably tired of me.
Because we don't talk. We might do our group text throughout the week. All of us on the round table, but we don't get to talk. So it's good to see that I'm not crazy because you're saying things that I see, and you just pointed out things that I didn't see as well. So that's why I like having these conversations. Yeah, same. Definitely.
Hey, same here, man. Now let's switch to the other side.
Oh yeah,
because that side of the ball I think is something to get excited about. And I had Foots on here yesterday, and Foots was real hype. Man. Our guy Foots, he was on the phone hype about these boys. He said it.
He get passionate.
Like he said, Foots was on the phone. He said, "Scott, you can hear it in my voice, man. I'm feeling really good." I'm like, "I hear you, bro. I hear you. Yeah, I know. I know."
They'll still be playing, man.
Yo, you know what I just noticed about Foots too? Shout out to my boy if he's in the building, Cowboys Nation TV. That motherfucker taller than I thought.
Word.
Yeah, I see the picture. I said, God damn. Foots.
He
I
like
know
Wiz Khalifa. You don't
Yeah.
realize Wiz Khalifa like 6'5" out this joint.
Man, listen, maybe it's a conversation we can have off air, but back in my promotion days, I brought Wiz
Oh, shit,
Khalifa.
he used to promote.
Man, I used to be
Oh man, we got
DJ.
so did I, man. I used to run
that,
strip
bro.
clubs, all that, man.
That's
That's how I'm known in Philly, man. I was a promoter.
That's how I was
for a
known
minute,
in the
man.
Berg. You know, even when I go back home, they be like, "Well, when the next party?"
Oh, that's what I'm talking about, bro. We got to talk, man. We got to talk.
So I used to be the promotion game, and one of the first main people I brought down was Wiz. And this was before Wiz got super big and hairy.
Back during before Black and Yellow.
Right before Black and Yellow. This was
right.
This plain Wiz. This was Youngin' on his grind Wiz. For y'all who don't know what I'm talking about, just go look.
Yeah.
I brought him down to the Berg, man. Yeah, when I first met Wiz up in Edinburgh, I was like, yeah, he tall as hell, man. Skinny,
yep.
but he's tall.
Yeah.
But they was like, who is this, man? Get him off the stage. Wiz Khalifa. I'm like, yeah. I told his manager, I said, I apologize.
Now you a legend. Yeah, now you a
apologize.
legend because you're like, yo, you had Wiz Khalifa.
Oh
You
no!
know,
After
yeah.
Black and Yellow dropped, they hit my phone up. Well, you gotta get Wiz back down. I gotta get what? Did you got $50,000 to get Wiz back down here? Because I got him at a way bigger discount. So.
Way better price back then, man. Yeah.
But anyway,
got it for $1,000 in free drinks.
Exactly. Well, it wasn't drinks, but
It was so. I know what drinks.
I'm
Purple
censoring
lips.
this whole damn
Purple
show.
lips.
This whole show is getting censored, bro.
Oh man.
But Foots,
Crazy.
aka Wiz Khalifa, he was excited about the defense, man. And yesterday we mostly were talking about that front seven. Before I get you to talk about the secondary, man.
Perfect.
I want to hear your excitement about Micah Parsons and Neville Gallimore and Randy and D Long, getting all these boys back, and it's crazy to see. It's crazy to see.
Man, people gotta like. I'm going to be a little braggadocious on this one, man.
Okay.
I haven't missed on those guys, man. I will say I missed on Tristan. I didn't like Tristan at first because I didn't like him in that scheme. I love him in this scheme though, and last year too. But I didn't like him initially. But Neville, I've always thought Neville can play the way he's playing right now. I thought he was like a bowling ball that had wheels, like you move a little bit. So, and then with Micah Parsons, I say this all the time. I only broke down 2 defensive players coming out of college, and that was Patrick Surtain, because I heard a lot of buzz about him, and Micah Parsons, and that was for a reason, because Micah Parsons was like, his tape was that good, and I still feel that he hasn't gotten anywhere close to his full potential, and that is what's scary about him, man. I never look at the stats. Like, I never sit and look at stats. I like to let my eyes do the talking. But someone posted stats on Twitter last week showing that he has the same numbers or better than Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, as far as pressures and his pressure percentage. But he has 100 less snaps as a pass rusher than those guys. 100 less. So what would he have done if he would have been at defensive end full time? And it's not even close. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's ridiculous what he's able to do. And you have to stop calling him a linebacker. He's just a football player.
He's a beast.
He just put an A next to him. He's an athlete. You need him to play anywhere. He said it before, and I really believe him now. He said, you can put me at corner, safety, anywhere you want. I'm gonna just play. I believe him because the things that he's been able to do for us, man, he's not only an emotional leader, but he's making impact plays when we need them, not in bum time, not, and this is not a discredit to guys who are, I think, elite at their position. Like a Randy Gregory is elite at his position, in my opinion. And Diggs is obviously elite at his position, but Micah Parsons' play transcends positions. And I love it, man. I can't say enough about him. And I'm excited to watch defensive football again. Mm-hmm. And this is, I wouldn't say the best defense that we've had. We've had defenses that have stopped teams better during a running era, though. Yeah. But this is the best defense we've had in the modern era since we've become a passing league. This is the best defensive we've had. And
would you at least say it's the most talented?
Very much so.
right? Like
we had some talented teams. Remember, we had James Washington, Brock Marion.
Oh no! I'm not.
I'm not.
We
had some talent.
No. You
Deep
said modern.
talent.
You said modern.
Oh, modern era.
I'm
This
not
is
even
the most talent.
I would
by
never
far,
disrespect the 90s.
by far.
Yeah,
we have
about
corners that don't play. Like we forget it. I forgot his name. Canada and Bossman and Wright could very easily be a starting 3 cornerback package
year,
on anybody's team right now. They might not be the greatest because you have 2 young guys, but they could very easily be starting in this league. And we don't even see them. We don't hear their names. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're definitely deep and we're definitely talented. And we're physical. We don't give that credit. We hurt teams every week. Every week. Waller didn't finish the game. McLaurin didn't finish the game.
Heineke was in and out.
The game. Heineke was crawling all over the place. You know, whatever we hit, we heard it. Whenever we hit something, we heard it. So I'm loving this defense. And I love the mentality, man. And a shout out to Humphreys too. I give Humphreys all his credit. He got teed up probably like 6 times in that game.
Kept getting up.
And he finished the game, man. But I didn't think he would. But he got teed up by Curse. He got hit by Neal. He got hit by Hooker like 2 or 3 times. You know what I mean? And kept getting up. So shout out to him because I know he was icing up after that game, man. But the defense, you know, especially Micah Parsons is playing lights out. I haven't seen anything like it. And when you have D-Law and Gregory on the outside, allowing Parsons to be singled up on running backs. I don't care if you're Zeke out there. You're not blocking Micah Parsons with a running back. Period. It's not happening. It's like saying 10 plays a game, you're going to line up and block D-Law with a running back. If that's how you know you're going into a game, D-Law going to have a hell of a game. And that's what it's like. But having Micah Parsons come up the A-gap.
That's the problem.
It's just, it's a problem because you have to double team the outside or at least have to shift and try to triple team D-Law sometimes. Isolate Gregory. That's what they used to be able to do, though. We're going to shift the D-Law, isolate Gregory, but that's stretching the middle of the field. And it leaves it stressed out.
I mean, that's why he's the defensive player of the year, because he's the most versatile defender in the entire National Football League. And he won't say it because he's a humble cat. But he is a top 5 linebacker and a top 5 defense end. You don't see that often. And J-Rock, as you call him, J-Ron Curse, came out and he said that. J-Ron Curse said, man, he's special. I don't think I've ever seen a rookie be able to be top 5 in both of those things. And you could argue he top 1 at one of those things. If you want to keep it a bean, he's just not every down rusher. And I don't think he should be Akoye right now. Not with D-Law and not with Randy.
I don't really want him to be. I like how we use him. Move him around so that you have to figure us out. You know what I mean? Figure us out.
You never know where he's going to be.
In one place, you hurt his game.
Yep.
Put him everywhere.
And I'll reiterate this because I talked about it yesterday, y'all, but I'll reiterate it for Akoye. Dan Quinn, in his interview during earlier this week, he said, I had a player in Miami. He used to coach in Miami briefly. Jason Taylor, Hall of Fame defense end. He was amazing. He was great. But the problem was he only played one side. And you can take him away, you can shade, you can chip, you can move people over, you can double, triple team him. But he said, because he talked about Micah playing everywhere, he said you can't do that with Micah. That's what makes him great, is that there's this versatility about him where he can be on the left, he can be on the right, he can be in the A gap, he can be in the B gap, he can drop back. His coverage is getting better, by the way. He can drop back. He can just do everything at a high level. He doesn't make sense. You know,
and then when you see him in the huddle, you don't know what personnel they're running. You don't know where he's going to line up. You know where Bobby Wagner's going to be. You don't know where Micah Parsons is going to be when he's in the huddle. He could be at the end. He could be lined up in the A gap. He can be on the left, right, like you said. So
he is who you create on Madden when you was a buck and you like, man, screw this. I'm making a 99 player. That's him. You 6'3", 250 pounds, runs a 4.3, has a an 80 in coverage, a 99 passer rush rate, agility 99. That's
no joke.
Like, listen, I'm gonna allow myself
one block. He glitching. You run 2 blockers at him. They on the ground, or they spin around in space. Like, it's glitching. It's glitching, man.
It's glitching, and if asked, I believe that boy could play some running back if he needs to because he did it. So. He is a special dude.
He got me. I got my sons running hills now. I'm like, oh, y'all running hills, man. Michael Parsons said he ran hills in high school. So I'm running.
And as a buck.
Sure. Yeah.
And a black top. I don't know if Micah played for the Broncos or not. So back in Harrisburg, there's the Packers, the Broncos. Now it's the Little Cougars. I don't know which one he played for. I forget. But we used to have this hill in Sunshine Park, and that's where they have us running up. You go on hills. You cut up. You go run the hills, up and down, up and down.
Suicides up hills,
So,
man.
up, yep, for real rap. Yeah, the whole line.
On a flat ground, flat surface, you're gonna be Saquon Barkley out there, man. Just run.
He said that's what got what made him have that speed. But I just think he's just naturally
yeah,
just a ridiculous freak.
Still crazy, man.
Yeah. But I love the fact that when you get this complement of guys around him, it makes not only him that much better, but everybody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at LVE. We talked about him briefly prior to
he watched that tape last week, man.
He saw it. You know what's funny? When you call out somebody, they usually start playing that. He said, "Man, this mother Lyle Collins looking like a mother get hit." And Lyle
he came out and shut me up though. I was like, you looking like trash truck juicy. He got it together.
Yeah, and you come out, you drop a whole video on LVE. LVE come out and has his best day since 2019.
I was like, well, damn, I'm gonna drop a video every week on his ass for sure.
Yeah, call out Dak. And maybe he'll have a career day. But no, I'm just messing.
No, he might. I might have to get him, man.
I had to get him.
Sure. If it take it, I'll fall on the sword if it means a Super Bowl. The fans can hate me, but at least the players will be like, man, I can't have Akoye making no more videos about me, man. My mama watching.
We can set this up like WWE. You make that video, then I'll make a not guilty video and see what happens.
Watch you shoot up through the roof. You could be the savior.
Nah, we ain't gonna do that to y'all.
You can have wings like Nipsey back here. like
you the hill. You're gonna turn Akoye to the hill. Low key, they've been trying to make you the hill this year.
I am the hill, man. Yeah. I'm the hill. I'm the only person who drop breakdowns and lose subscribers when I do it. Like whenever I drop a breakdown that's unpopular, like the LV, I lose like 10 subs when I do, and I know I'm going to when I do them. So I know I'm the hill, man. But they come back. I mean, it's like an influx, so it'll go down, 5 to 10, and then it'll shoot up 30.
That's crazy.
But 5 to 6 people are going to jump off because I'm talking about people who are fans. Like they might love these players. Like they might have met them. He might have gave them a game ball. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about these guys. So I know that comes with the territory, but I'm only talking about the film. I had to tell people this is not my opinion. If it don't show up on film, I'm not going to say it. So it's not like I'm making it up. You know what I mean?
Nope.
But it is what it is. I understand.
So I love you, man, because you just speaking what you see. And I think as Vach says a lot of times, some people don't like the way I talk, and if try to sift through that and listen to what y'all saying, and it makes sense. Right. And LVE, deservingly so, should have been on the hot seat. He's been very erratic this year, to say the least. That's being nice.
He played with great leverage last week, though.
Well, yes, he did.
And I have that. I'm doing the front seven next, so I gave him his credit. This week, but he has to do it consistently. One game don't change the.
That's what I told Foots. I told Foots in the text message. That's because he said, "Man, LVE," and I said, "Yeah, but we've said this at least 3 times this year. Like, oh man, LVE first Giants game, he bounced back from that bad. I forget who we played prior. He wasn't good, and he bounced back, and we're like, man, great. He did the wolf howl. He was all emotional
about it. That was the only one this season until he got a. That was because Jalen got cut.
I was about to say his boy got cut, so he's feeling himself. Then the next week he got smacked upside the head. I think it was against the Patriots or something like that. And and then
what it is with him, man. He's unsure of himself though. If you're gonna be wrong in a major way. That's all I ask. Run into somebody, knock the snot out of somebody.
Penalty or something, yeah.
I don't care. Just be wrong majors. Don't be indecisive, especially when you're that big and you don't have the ability to change direction. Commit to whatever it is that you think you see and just go for it. I wouldn't have a problem with him then. He's useful in some way.
Yeah, he don't have the room for error to be second guessing and he don't got that twitch. Like Micah can make a false step and still get there, and you won't even know it was a false step. For the person who doesn't really understand those things, it might just look like, man, Micah made the correct read. He kind of didn't. He just so damn good.
Stills play. He got burnt and they just caught him.
But when 55 makes the wrong move, it is completely obvious to see because he can't recover. But Boyd was looking a little bit like a Sean Lee on Sunday
last week.
Yeah, he was making.
It had
some
a lot to do with Neville too. Neville and those guys up front were clearing lanes for him where he didn't have to think and he didn't have to get rid of a guy. Last week he didn't have to get rid of many people at all. And he was flowing to the ball naturally. So shout out to him. I'll give him his credit, man. That was a great game by LVE. I liked it.
Absolutely was. And again, we talk about the front seven helping out LVE. I also think the front seven has helped out that back 4 or 5, however they decide to do it, big nickel or whatever. And off air, we were kind of talking briefly about I called this front seven a couple weeks ago a championship caliber front.
Right.
And I don't mean that to disrespect the secondary, but now that I see it all together, in my head, I'm saying, okay, with that front seven, and then you got the talent in the back, I think you can say this is a potential championship caliber defense. I understand AB is AB, but if AB is your number 2, when you got guys like Trayvon Diggs, playmaker, J-Rock, playmaker, Hooker is a talented role player. KZ has his moments.
Let's stop that. Hooker, he's passing the eye test, and that's not what I haven't even.
I can't call him a playmaker yet, though. Is what I'm saying.
No, not a playmaker, but he's just. I like KZ. KZ is like a rainbow over the top.
He keeps everything.
Hooker is a sphere. He can play every direction.
I like that.
Down near the line of scrimmage, up over the top, left to right. It doesn't matter what direction you want to go. He can do it. He's well rounded.
But I didn't see this.
To just stay over me either, bro. I never thought Hooker was a slasher or a guy that could play close to the line of scrimmage.
He wasn't.
Hooker, he's never asked to do it.
Yeah.
But Hooker is nasty, bro. I like him. And he wants to hit. That hit on Humphreys, I didn't like it because he got the call on it. But I like the tenacity behind it. Like, he's coming, and he's bringing full steam when he does. So I give Hooker his credit. Like, KZ is a good role player. Hooker is, just I put an asterisk next to him. I don't know what
you think he in the middle then. He's not necessarily the feature of the D, but he's teetering
on next year being
the guy to bring back.
Oh, 100%. If we don't bring Hooker back, I would be pissed. For real.
I'd be pissed.
I would be pissed.
I would be pissed if we don't bring J-Ron Curse back.
Oh, I already count him as being on the team. That don't even count. He better be back. That's a better have him back.
J-Ron,
he's the leader of our defense right now.
What'd he say? We want Dallas. We want Dallas. He was trolling them. Go watch that. What's it called? Sound to the Sideline. He trolled them boys all game. Those fans over there in Washington, football people.
I love you, man.
But so J-Rock, I want to talk about him a little bit. I was thinking this. I didn't tweet it. I ain't have the guts to do it. I ain't had the cojones to do it just yet. I wanted to go back and watch a little bit more. But I think you got Micah Parsons, right? Who was your most versatile defensive player on this team. I think that J-Ron Curse is your second most versatile player on this team. And I don't necessarily think that's far-fetched.
You need to done on that. Yeah, you didn't even need
okay, I just did this in case y'all might have thought I was crazy.
100%.
But I think that J-Ron Curse has showed to be
he's actually more versatile.
Just as I don't want to go there.
Versatile.
I don't want to go there
because
yet.
He has to play safety. Parsons not asked to do that. J-Ron Curse plays on every level of this defense. He plays at the line of scrimmage. He plays linebacker, and he plays safety. And he gets everybody lined up. So if you said who's the most integral part of this defense, is definitely J-Ron Curse, because communication still counts. It's just the things that you don't see, including Micah Parsons getting in position to make those plays. J-Ron Curse has a green dot for a reason. He understands what everybody on this defense is supposed to be doing. And when you're watching the film, those near misses in the middle of the field on that film yesterday that I did on the secondary, J-Ron Curse is not supposed to be in a lot of those plays, but he understands what's going on. So that's why you have three guys converging on the.
You can't see it.
I can see it now. I got you on the TV, so I can see it. Yeah, but that's why you have 3-4 guys converging in the middle of the field, because J-Ron you see it. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. Paying attention to everything going on.
This play right here,
on that field, and he knows where everybody is supposed to be. Like, J-Ron is nasty, man. I like him. And lines up against wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, blitzes very well. And
we forget
a good emotion.
He's 6'4".
Yep. He's like uncle.
I mean, this isn't no small little dude. And I listened to his interview the other day. I think it was yesterday, actually. And he said something. I loved his quote. They said, "Is this a championship caliber defense?" And J-Ron said, "Well, we got to win a championship before we can be that." And I was like, "Oh, I love it. I love it." As fans, as creators, as analysts, we can say what it is. But I love that answer because it's a mentality, right? He's confident. He's confident in these boys, but you got to go out there and do it every week. And he's one of the main dudes on Twitter that says 0-0, or we were 1-0, we were 1-0, or we were 0-1. I understand it's a week-to-week league, and you got to prove yourself every week. Micah said it. You're only as good as your last game.
And this is with us saying in the beginning of the season, like, think about this, bro. I still love Donovan Wilson. Still.
It's my guy.
In the beginning of the season, I said Donovan Wilson is our starting strong safety, period.
Yep.
He's going to have a Pro Bowl season, period. And this isn't a knock on Donovan Wilson, but J-Ron Curse is that good, literally, in this scheme. I mean, period.
So
period.
I have this conversation with somebody on Twitter in our chat. I always say, I truly 100% believe if Donovan Wilson was a healthy guy, we'd be talking about Donovan Wilson as one of those dudes on this defense. But what makes J-Ron, I think, a little bit different is A, the leadership stuff, right? And B, I think the fact that he's been around the league a little bit, he doesn't have this Dallas Cowboys mentality from previous regimes or coaching staffs. He has a little bit of everything from different people. He's been in the gutter with a Detroit team, right? He's been on a solid team in Minnesota with good defensive coordinators, good defensive players, playing next to Pro Bowlers.
He knows what a good football looks like.
Exactly. Yeah. Where the one thing Dono may not have going for him is he doesn't really know the league yet or know everything just quite yet. And you see that veteran leadership from a J-Ron Curse that you would just not get from a Donovan Wilson. You just third-year player, basically
he's
played
an
3.
player, but he's not a guy that you can say, hey, go figure it out.
Go put the green dot on.
Yep, he's not that guy.
Not doing that.
He's a missile, and he's a good missile, but that's what he is, a dirty bomb.
And we'll get him back, Akoye. Like I said at the top of the show in the roundup, I'm happy as hell to get him back because I know he's a kamikaze. Like he going hurt himself. He's not going to be here for the rest of the year, but he's going to take somebody out with you. Dude's missile.
Yeah, he don't get all his credit though. He actually has good cover skills too. Like he can cover. He's just so good at knocking the snot out of guys. You forget that he can cover.
Like I truly believe, aside from the green dot part of things, you could do not all, but some of those similar things with Dono. Like have him. I call him that spear player. I love that. I love that term, by the way, you did with Hooker. The rainbow is KZ. KZ won't get the glorified stats because he's making sure things are in front of him most of the time. We've seen his angles. But Hooker kind of is everywhere. Yeah. I think that Wilson could have been that type of role too. Like Wilson can move in the back and read and direct. But he also can hit you up front like a hooker.
Yep. Like a hooker. But I'm here all night.
Here's what we're going to do, y'all. Like I said, I think we figured out the phone line situation. So I'm going to pull up this number, and we're going to try this out again today, y'all, to see if y'all can hear both Akoye and I. 351-999-3787 is the phone line. What I'm going to do, Akoye, let's jump into that part of it like we did early, like pre-roll. So jump into that. I'm gonna hit them with this quick little break. And then we're going to open the phone lines and see if you guys want to chat. That sound good?
Good to me.
All right, here we go. So jump into that, Akoye, and we'll be right back. About 20 seconds.
All participants are muted, and they can unmute themselves.
Oh, my goodness.
You got me, Akoye? Game Day Live. That's right. Make sure y'all tune in to Game Day Live every single week.
But I can hear you still.
Yeah, I still got you, man. We gonna get through it. Every single week, Game Day Live at Texas Live. Myself, Jesse Holly. He was out last week. He should be cool. We'll see about this week, but. Jesse, good job. I mean, just figuring out some things. But make sure y'all tune in. Even if he isn't there on Sunday, make sure y'all tune back in and make sure we get this get-right game against the Giants. I'm going to try to keep y'all as entertained and informed as possible.
Shout out to Jesse Holly, too, man.
Yes, sir.
Show.
Now, I'm just want to give y'all a heads up here for those that do want to call in, or even if you don't call in. The audio will sound a little bit different from Akoye's end, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it. So if it's too bad for y'all, maybe try to come in, come back in, or let me know. I'll try to fix it as best I can, y'all. But all right,
I'm turning my levels up too, just so maybe you can hear me a little bit better.
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just not as great quality because of the program. Mm-hmm. When we're not the 4-letter networks, the 3-number networks, we got to finesse things, bro. So it is what it is. At some point though, we're gonna get to a point where I got a real studio. and this thing gonna
and
be
it's a
super
producer
lit.
sitting over there like Jamie on Joe Rogan.
Exactly.
Just sitting over there making things happen.
Where I ain't got to do everything.
That's what we need.
I'm a one-man band right now. I don't want to be that no more. I'm at the point where
not at all.
I
just want to come in, drink my coffee, read my keys, and just say, all right, let's go. I'm ready.
I do love doing this on the side. Like I do this for people. Like I actually produce another podcast with somebody, but I'm not doing anything on air. I'm behind the scenes.
Right.
So.
Right.
But let's get Reek in the building first. I see Reek was lined up. Reek, you got us?
Yeah, I got y'all, man. What's going on, Akoye? What's going on, Skywalker? Cowboy Nation, stand up. Let's get all these likes and subscribes and all that good thing, shares up.
Thanks.
All I had to say this morning was this, man. I'm not too worried about the defense like that. I think we coming along, and like I said before, it's a real good job. It's a real good thing that we're healthy, and we continue to get more healthy as the rest of the season is going along. My whole thing is like this: the offense we got to get this offense thing right, and like these next few games, we gotta get this offensive line in check, to where it's like this is the set offensive line we going in here in the playoffs with. You know what I mean? And me personally, I'm still the type of person like this. This is how I look at it, man. I really believe that we should put Collins at left guard again. I think that we should try Connor Williams at center, and I think we should put Terrence Steele on that right side. And just experiment. We've been experimenting this much, this much the season. Why not try it? You know what I'm saying? Just to see what happens. If it doesn't work, throw it in the shredder. But if it does work, we might can do something. And then at the same time, too, if we got a chance, if we beat these Giants Sunday and Washington loses and we clinch the division, sit Zeke down. Give that man some rest, man. You know what I mean? Because I was looking at, even though Arizona lost their last game, they still looked tough on offense and defense. You know what I mean? They lost, but they gave the Rams a good game. You know what I mean? And the offense was flowing, and some of their guys just got back. So what I'm saying, we need to find that rhythm again. These dudes need to get on the same page, And I don't put it all on Dak, because I shout out to Big Game James. He put something on his page yesterday that showed that it's not all about Dak. It's about what Dak's seen in his face as he's throwing the ball. And Tyler Biadasz.
Did you not watch the breakdown, bro?
Oh man, I probably missed it, man. All I'm saying is this: Connor Williams and Connor McGovern and Biadasz, they got manhandled, and Dak was getting hit. You know what I mean? So now I get it a little longer. I get why he was throwing on hot region, throwing that jump out of his hand. I would have did it too, because them dudes getting manhandled. But at the same time, only knock I got on Dak a little bit is that, dog, you got to quit holding the ball so long. If you don't see nothing, roll out, throw that junk away. Throw it away, live fight another day. You know what I mean? Stop taking these unnecessary hits, you know what I mean, that you don't need to take, and quit holding the ball for somebody to get open downfield. And Kellen Moore, come on, man. You got to start doing more pre-snap stuff, man. I got to start seeing wide receivers and people motioning and making it look confusing to the defense, because it's like we just lining up and staying hike. That's not confusing anybody. How can people where's the rub routes? Where's all you know what I mean, stuff like that? Where's all that at? If you know that the running game is struggling, don't you have to do other things to get players in space? That's all I'm saying, man. But we can't fix everything overnight. All we can do is just try new things to see what happens. That's all I got to say. I'll holler at you brothers later. Have a good one. Peace.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace, man. Peace.
So
he dropped it all on
there was a lot.
You mad, son?
He did that the other day. I let him go. I said, I know you upset right now. So I'll let you go.
After a win at that dude angry, man. You can hear it in his tone. He like, he'll slap somebody today for sure. Get your coffee in too, bro. Get it in.
One of the things he talked about was experimenting with the Lyle at left guard thing and then Terrence at right tackle, which has been a conversation all year, right? My thoughts on Lyle Collins and Terrence Steele for me was whoever you decide to put out there right tackle, I'm fine with. I think both of them have shown that they can hold down the right tackle spot. There seems to be this misconception that the running game ills are because Lyle Collins is at right tackle. I don't know what y'all watching, but Lyle Collins run blocking. Hey, that has not been a problem.
Pass blocking is his problem.
That would be if there was a problem, it would be pass blocking. But run, which I don't even know if that's a problem. Akoye, I think he's cleaning that up. But the run blocking part is no. There is no problem. Like he's been probably our best run blocking offensive lineman to be keeping it being with you. But I like that he used the word experiment. Right? They're not going to do it. But if you're trying to figure out that left guard spot at this point, if you don't want to go back to Connor Williams. You don't care about having a swing tackle in the caliber of Terrence Steele, then yeah, I'm kind of with Reek. If you want to use experimentation, experiment with it. But you got to figure something out over there.
Don't put Steele back on the left, man.
Well, he's going back.
Over there. Oh my God.
Yeah, Terrence Steele was the likely starter at left tackle.
I can't take him on the left. He looks horrible over there, man.
Well, here's the thing, Koye. You got the Giants, so they don't really have a pass rush that's going to scare you over there.
I mean, you don't need one when still on the left.
Ooh.
That's a promise.
Ooh. Damn. Don't do my second cousin like that, dog.
His kick his left kick is nothing. He don't have one. It's like he don't know what his feet don't move right. I don't know what it is.
Don't do that to my boy, man.
Yeah, man, I like him. You know, I like Steele. I like his tenacity and all that. I didn't think he was going to be as good as he is at right tackle, but we need to do something. And if you're going to say, hey, let's get our best five out there, throw Collins at left guard and let's see what happens there. If you
they done did everything else.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get any worse than what they're doing in the rotation with McGovern and Williams. It's not like, I wouldn't say those guys are playing horrible, but it's nothing solid there. They're not solid.
Yeah, well, the thing with the McGovern-Williams experiment, I get it why they did it, because Connor Williams, the penalties, you just couldn't. You got to send a message. You got to try to find out if McGovern's your guy for the future. I think in these last 4 weeks, I don't necessarily think you've got anything positive out of this right now. I don't think it's been a great difference between McGovern and Williams. If you're on the side that McGovern has been better, it ain't been that much better. But I'm on the side that he hasn't been better, bro. Like, I got some stats pulled up here that my guy John Owning dropped. Very interesting statistics here on Connor McGovern since he's been entered into the starting lineup. As of now, he has the highest percentage of negatively graded run plays on the Cowboys. 18.9% of his plays are negative in regards to on the ground. Since week 10, when he's been entered in the lineup, McGovern has the third highest percentage of negatively graded run blocks, minimum 100 snaps in the entire NFL. As for Connor Williams, he said you should also note Connor Williams was the second highest percentage of positive run blocks, behind only Zach Martin. So I think that experiment is failed. And Stephen Jones did come out of Akoye and say that, they know something's up and we're looking into it, but I don't know if they're going to make the change or not.
I mean, the fact that Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones are still talking about what they're going to do with the offensive line is the problem. You make coaches second guess themselves, man. Let those dudes decide and just go for it.
Yeah, I just switched something. I just tried something while we're not on the phone. I try to get you back on your regular audio. So.
Oh, yeah, I could hear it now.
It's much better, ain't it?
So I'm on?
You still on. You still on.
Yeah, good.
Well, we're going to get to – go ahead. Then we'll get to another call.
No, I was just saying, they need to stop talking, Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones. Let the coaches decide who they want to play in what spots, because I think that's what causes these coaches to do some of these boneheaded things, like put guys in certain positions that shouldn't be there, let certain guys play like Zeke, who probably should get sat, is because the owners are talking and saying certain things that will make you second guess your decision making out there or your personnel decisions out there. Like when you say, oh, both those guys are going to play, like for what? Why is Collins and Steele both playing right tackle in the same game twice? Yeah. Like, why are we doing that?
Yeah, this stuff is silly, man. Pick something and roll with it.
It's just like a running back that needs 30 carries, man. Certain you got to give them their reps, or they might not get into the flow of the game. Gotta let them get into the flow, man. You can't keep shuffling them around unless somebody's hurt.
My bad. Okay, Gene, we'll get to you. So Doug is on here. He says, so we tolerate the penalties for positive run blocks? Yes. That's how I look at it. I can absolutely live. You mean to tell me Akoye, you wouldn't live with what you got in the first 6 weeks from the offensive line?
Yep.
I would live with that.
Yep.
I totally would. I mean, we tried it. We tried to bring in Connor McGovern, and it is without a doubt clear as day. You can see that it is not the same caliber of blocking from that position. Again, we're not saying this dude has been the worst left guard in the league, but he's been a downgrade. So sometimes you have to kind of pick your between two evils, as they say, right?
Yeah,
if
lesser of two evils. Yeah,
lesser of two evils. I'm going to go with the guy that has been the better player, but may be targeted with the penalties, as opposed to the guy that's been worse.
Yeah, I think that Connor Williams right now is better, and I've given Connor Williams his credit because ever since that Buffalo game where he tore his ACL, I've never said anything crazy about Connor Williams, even with the penalties. I think a lot of that has to do with exactly. I think a lot of it has to do with the refs, not so much as he's going crazy stuff. Because for the same people who say Connor Williams gives us crazy penalties, so does Leo Collins. I don't see us trying to say Leo Collins need to sit back down. That play to Michael Gallup was our only deep play that we had last week. Leo Collins is hugging the guy down to the ground,
that was even questionable.
Like a Lincoln log.
That was even a question.
No, that was a hold.
Nah, bro, bro fell. Now, Lyle always falls.
He was holding on to him when he fell though.
I think that was more questionable than the bull crap they didn't call against Michael Parsons, where they threw the touchdown to Chris Sims or whatever his name is. People don't even realize Michael Parsons.
Back on that.
No, he got hands to the face and / holding, both of them.
Because he would have made a sack.
He made a sack. And they didn't throw the flag. So if you're not going to throw the flag on that, then you don't throw a flag on Lyle Collins. Period. I've seen linemen do stuff like that, not named Dallas Cowboys players, and it was fine. Away with it. So I just asked for consistency. Same thing with Connor Williams. There's at least half of those penalties. I'm like, really? We're doing that? All right. Just make sure you stay consistent, bro.
Facts.
Let's get L. Gene in the building. What's up, L. Gene?
What's going on, Sky, man? Like I said, man, I had that conversation with you earlier about Connor Williams, man. If y'all not going to call the holding on Michael Parsons when he's horse-collared, choked every play when he rushes, then Connor Williams needs his job back because pretty much that's what he does. I mean, he's just a physical guy, and in my mind, I really think if they don't call half of those penalties on Connor Williams, we're talking about a Pro Bowl season because that guy, I mean, he was doing his job. He just got caught with holding, ticky-tack holding penalties, man. So what I noticed, too, man, about this Cowboys offense, man, doesn't seem like they run many drag routes or many rub routes.
In-breaking routes.
In-breaking routes, man. I don't understand why they don't do a lot of those routes. Or even when Amari first got here, he ran a lot of those those in and out routes that Humphreys and the guy from those arrow routes. I don't know why they don't run those routes more with Dak because Amari, that's what he kind of specializes in my mind. You know what I'm saying? He fills out the defender, and then whichever way he leans, he goes. So I don't understand. It kind of feels like Kellen Moore is going back to his Jason Garrett days. Like you know what? We're just gonna. Right. It's just like a Linehan. Like okay, we got these certain plays that we run. We're who we are, and this is what we're gonna do. And,
I would say L. Gene, the Linehan-ish, I call it Linehanian, and the Garrett stuff is more with the actual routes. He does a ton of these comeback stop routes for absolutely no reason. It's so archaic.
Cover 2 when they did that last week. I said, they sat down with 4 button hooks all the way across.
All the way across.
Everybody.
All the way. It looked just like a Jason Garrett offense.
Cover 2.
A cover 2. I didn't understand that, man, and it kind of boggled me. And then I started thinking, well, is Jerry meddling with this? Like,
nah,
he mentioned something about not showing your hand for the playoffs. So did they tell him to scale it back to go vanilla?
No, this ain't new.
Save all those other. No, it's not new. It kind of it's weird because it just looked like okay, you got guys that that run good routes. You know, you got some decent route runners on your squad, and all of us they just can't run routes. Like it kind of just it's weird to me, and I don't understand it.
Your thoughts,
and
Akoye?
maybe
Never mind.
go ahead, Akoye.
No, I'm saying I'll give you. I'm just agreeing with you. I'll give you that. Like, at the end of the day, we're not really going in and imposing our will on defenses. We're taking what defenses give us and trying to figure it out. So, they're just rolling the dice with Dak back there. So some of those plays, shout out to Big Game James and to Sky for breaking that down. Some of those plays where we're like scratching our head on Dak, it's like, what are his options though? No check down. You just mentioned we don't do any drag routes. We used to do that with Michael Gallup all the time, especially against Washington because of the way they use their linebackers in the middle of the field. So it's like we don't do anything to stress out a defense now, unless it's deep. Unless it's deep and we see single high, because we practice against single high, so that's what we know how to beat. But if you show us anything else, it's like we don't have an answer for too high, at all. It doesn't seem like we do anyway. And you guys are right. Like a lot of those button hooks and comeback routes on cover 2 doesn't make. I watched 4 different plays where we were lined up against cover 2, and we ran comeback routes on the outside, nothing up the middle of the field to stress out Holcomb. And when Holcomb is the guy to stress in cover 2, that's why we did that breakdown.
Can we expound on that? That's another thing I think somebody brought up earlier, might have been from a conversation we had last week, that this team doesn't seem to attack an offense or defense's weakness. It's just more of okay, this is how you want to play us, so we're going to counter it by doing this. And teams know that by now. Teams know, all right, if I show 7, they're going to run the ball, but y'all can't run, so I don't care, right? Or if I do this, they're going to do that, because that's what we are. We're a reactionary offense, and that can be cool at times, right? That can be cool at times, but if that is your game plan every single week and one part of your offense is ailing, it becomes much easier to defend. Much easier to defend.
Right.
And Holcomb was the guy to attack, Akoye. He was. You were right.
And this is how you can tell.
Last year they did. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, last year, you remember that first time, and they did it one time last year. That was the Philadelphia game when they found that Jacquees kid. They attacked him. They found the weakness, and they attacked it, and they attacked it. I didn't understand why. I'm like, okay, man, these guys, none of those cornerbacks could cover none of those receivers from Washington. None of them. They couldn't cover any of those. I don't think so. At least I don't think so.
Well, they can't cover them one-on-one, but their zone will help with that. What they needed to do, and Akoye was correct last week, we brought this up about Holcomb, and when I went and watched, that boy was biting on every goddamn thing. I mean, 100%. There was so many opportunities to get at Holcomb. There was a route that I showed my breakdown in the red zone where for whatever reason, CD Lamb did not do a post corner to the end zone. He did. He ran up, did a stop route, turned around. That was silly. He should have went post corner. But underneath of that was Mari Cooper. Mari Cooper basically had 55 running kind of a Tampa 2, kind of just dropping back in the middle. I think the design should have been for Cooper to come under 55 because 55 can't run with him and make 55 have to cross his face. Instead, Cooper just kind of, I don't know what he did. He just kind of ran and just stuttered around in the middle of the field. And now you're like, Dak, what are you doing? When really, where the hell is there to go? So he tries to go to the other side and you get a sack.
Yeah, man. And it's when we do it right, we did it right a couple times because we ran Wilson, I believe, up the seam, right? And that took Holcomb up the seam with him, and then we ran a slant right underneath that
for like 20 yards.
We did the same thing for a touchdown with that. I think Cooper got a touchdown.
Yep, it was
the
Schultz.
Same exact way. Or it was Schultz got the touchdown.
No, Cooper got a touchdown, but Schultz drew the coverage.
Schultz ran him out. Yeah,
right.
That was working. We were running out and then running slants off of that because they have Holcomb play in that spherical type of style too.
And he's not good at it.
Yeah, well, he's okay on his first option, but he can't change direction. So it's like at the end of the day, once you run him out of there, you got everything underneath. And if he does sit on whatever's underneath, you can get behind him all day. So you can play with him all day. And it's like when we were doing it right, it was almost like it was luck. You know what I mean? Like we were lucking up and just calling the right play at the right time instead of like we weren't going back to it where it's like, okay, they're going to have to show us that he can stop this before we stop doing it. We didn't do that. We just, this play came up and that's what we're going to run.
On the Holcomb interception, he bit on that fake hard.
He was out of there.
On that interception.
He was out of there.
He was out of there. But you have to, and see, that's the in-game adjustments. If you see that Holcomb is biting on that, you have to have something behind that. Not only that CeeDee Lamb out and that Jarwin, but I think Schultz. I think he read it wrong because he stopped running.
No, Gene.
He keeps running.
Nah, Gene. That's on Dak, bro. That was on.
Yeah, that was on Dak. But he hitting something on the head with the in-game adjustments, though.
Oh yeah, we haven't seen it.
This is how you can evaluate your offensive coordinator versus the talent of the offense, right? Which one is it? That's the issue. If your coordinator comes out with a script, so that the reason we're not scoring in the first quarter are killing teams and getting up in the beginning of the game
15,
because there's something wrong with the way we're calling plays. The reason we're good in the second half and in the fourth quarter is because our talent, we go on the sideline. Amari Cooper's on the so you can hear it on the sounds of the game. These guys can't do this, or when I see them in this look, they can't guard me in this look. So we're adjusting based off of what the players are doing and seeing, and sometimes Dak even stretching plays like we said before. But our scripted plays or our scripted playbook does not work. It has not been working. So that is how you evaluate, is it the coordinator or is it the talent on the field that's making this thing go? And the fact that we've always been, this season anyway, a second half adjusting team shows that the players are what's carrying this offense when we actually are performing. It's the players. It's not, Kellen Moore has great play design, don't get me wrong, but his play calling style, in my opinion, is lacking. Because if it wasn't, we would be a great first quarter scoring team.
I want to touch on that.
Those first 15 plays.
I gotta let you go, Gene. Last quick one.
I got last quick one. Stop running screens, and I'm done. Y'all be easy, man.
All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Run them better.
That's what it really is. It's definitely running it better.
Execute on them. Catch the ball.
Gosh, they were terrible, Akoye. You touched on a lot there that I brought up last week in my 3 keys to the game. And the very first one was getting into an early rhythm and flow. And that's part of that first 15, right? The first 6 weeks of the season, we were on it. We were coming out, we were scoring touchdowns, we were getting points, we were in a rhythm and flow. There was barely 3 and outs. Prior to that Washington game, I believe it was 4 of the last 5 weeks, we came 3 and out. Opened the game with a 3 and out.
Yep.
So things need to change, and it did. They got into a little bit of a flow against Washington. They went down there, and then they got into the red zone, and they became that weird, cute stuff that they like to do, and didn't score a touchdown. They answered, though, I think on the third possession, which ironically was the same possession they scored against the Saints, third possession. But yeah, man, and then adjusting, I wanted to touch on. We were an excellent team adjusting in game the first 6 weeks. I have no idea what happened. Like, all of a sudden, and a lot of this may have to do with being on the road, because I do think Kellen Moore is different on the road. I feel like he tightens up, man. He becomes a lot more Linehan-ish, and he reverts back to a lot of basics, right? Like, I can't get creative here because I don't know if our guys can do it on the road. It's noise, et cetera, et cetera. And then something that you brought up earlier that I didn't touch on, the East-West game. The East-West game pre-snap or at-snap motion, it actually works. And it worked twice against Washington, and we just never went back to it.
It should make you stressed out every play. We should be doing that to you.
You had Ezekiel Elliott
out leveraging you every play. We never even do those jet sweeps where it's like we do jet sweeps to see what you're in, but we don't do jet sweeps to get guys open like they do against us. You'll see guys going back and forth to get us to keep switching because they know we're going to switch in coverage. And as we're switching in coverage, they hike the ball right while their guys on the edge. They'll start hiking the ball while we're switching in coverage because they know, okay, we like this matchup on the left better than we do the one on the right. So let's see what they do first. All right, now jet back over there, and then we're going to hike the ball while he's in the backfield right off the edge. We don't do that with guys like Lamb or Schultz. Schultz, you wouldn't know what the hell Schultz is doing if Schultz was sweeping across like we were doing in the Chargers game. Sometimes he was sweeping and it was a run play, and he was coming out and just killing Bosa. Sometimes he was coming off the edge off those sweeps and running routes. But you don't know what he's doing if we're sweeping or moving those pre-snap on every play.
Or at
Make
snap.
Defenders think. Yeah, at snap too, but make them think. Make them think.
Our motions, and I said this to our chat yesterday, is a basketball term. We don't dribble with a purpose. And dribbling with a purpose is, you know how it is. You know, when the girls come to the basketball court, you just start doing all this but you ain't going nowhere. Well, I was a point guard, so I defended a lot of ball handlers. I let them do all that crazy stuff. They ain't watching the hips. I'm watching the hips. I'm right here. I ain't going nowhere, right? So they doing all this crazy stuff, and you're not doing nothing. You're not dribbling with a purpose. You're not angling somebody to get an open pass on maybe a screen or whatever. Dallas doesn't. That's what they do. They dribble without a purpose. You got number 19 just kind of jogging across the motion so Dak can see, okay, they're in man. I mean, that's a basic ass. That's stuff you do in the 90s.
It's not to kill you. Yeah, they're not doing it to hurt you.
But when teams like McVay does it excellently, Kyle Shanahan does it. The Packers low key even do it sometimes too. And we did it. It works. Ezekiel Elliott came behind Dak Prescott at snap, 55-26, move. All it takes is one goddamn step. 88 right behind it, first down. Another possession, Cedric Wilson at snap motion. He comes this way, 55 just comes just that one step, and you got the screen over to I think it was a CD Lamb for like 6 yards or something like that. The convoy got over there late, but the at snap motion worked. Mm-hmm. And for whatever reason, we kind of go away from that. Those are easy ways to not only generate passing windows, but to generate running lanes. And we don't do it enough, Akoye.
Yeah, well, you're 100% right, bro. You're 100% right. And like I said, that's what my issues are with Kellen Moore. I think Kellen Moore designs plays great, but I think a lot of his ability to, call plays in situational football or in football situations or in-game situations is in question. A lot of the things he's thinking at certain times don't it's like he's playing Madden sometimes. You know what I mean? like reverses and cute stuff where it's time to really look at the game, look at these guys out of breath. You've been driving the ball upfield on these guys, and then we let them off the hook they want you to throw a ball and be incomplete. They want you throwing passes in the end of the game when you're up 14 points. Yeah. We play right into that instead of it's like we don't have the ability to kill. It's like a lion cub or something like that. You know what I mean? We don't know how to go for the jugular yet, and we need to get the defense got it. Yeah. The defense understands this though, and you can tell they understand it. But what you want to do, if you know you're struggling right now, you even as an offensive coordinator, you curtail this offense to complement this defense, which is why I say run the ball more. You got to curtail the offense now. You can't keep going out there and try to act like the offense is firing off on all cylinders, going empty backfield like you got an offensive line that's blocking lights out. Stop doing that.
That's so crazy.
And curtail this, call plays and play a little bit more field position football, game management football while you're struggling, so that these guys can get some momentum and your defense can get up. The defense will get you there. They really will. We won the game last week because of that Micah Parsons fumble. That score right there was the game-deciding score.
I said this yesterday, Akoye. I said if this offense, we got 4 games to get out the funk, right? If this offense can get out of the funk and get back to being a scary offense, then you may have to change your philosophy and how you approach the games heading into the playoffs. And that's not a bad thing necessarily, right? You got the guys to do it. So you got 4 games. But if you get to week 17, week 18, and your offense is still in the mud, you might have to be like, all right, now, time to be more game management, time to be more clock killing, time to just see if we can get through this playoff game where our defense is just locked down, and then our offense just makes the right drive at the right time to make sure we win this game. But I don't want that, Akoye, and I don't think it needs to be that way. I think this offense can get it back together.
I think so too. But if you look at the game against New England, right? We played exactly like that. We played complementary football. We weren't going high flying and all over the place, man. We were playing complementary football, and it worked. Even the game-winning touchdown to CD Lamb, that was just a bootleg. It was just a basic bootleg, but he instead of running shallow, he ran all the way across the field this time. But that's the type of football we need to be playing. We need to be playing more of a like I said, field position football right now, because your defense is going to give you a chance or a shot or two, especially if you can keep those guys fresh. They're going to give you a shot to win this game or to win any game. You just have to understand that and that we're not firing off on all cylinders, especially with our offensive line. We play like we are. Like it'll be 3rd and 3, and we'll have an empty backfield. Hey. You're not even threatening to run the ball. So, of course, they're not afraid of anything. They're going to pin their ears back and come for Dak. If it's 3rd and 3, threaten to run the ball, because at worst, if you did run the ball on that 3rd and 3 on any 3rd down and short, and you get 2 yards or 1 yard, so what? You now still have the threat of being able to play action or roll out. If you're not going to run, you can play action off of that. They have to respect it regardless, because it's 3rd and short. You know what I mean?
So,
we'll have 3rd and short, 4th and short, empty backfield. We'll be in the red zone, empty backfield, while Dak is hurt and our offensive line is not blocking
it's empty
correctly.
backfield with Zeke too, so it's goofy.
Even worse.
It's goofy. But I'm starting to realize that we're talking through this. Maybe we just do not have a good short game passing offense schematically. Because I'm thinking about it. We are a vertical team, but how often do you hear, "Damn, that was a great rub route," or "Damn, that was a good combination to get somebody open for a quick 5-yard first down"? It's mostly, is Dalton Schultz going to go up there and sit down and get the first? It's really nothing on a drag or anything like that of sorts. So I'm going to get the DJ, then we're going to head up out of here. So let me get DJ back in here and get Akoye and that.
They said I'm super quiet.
Hey. DJ, you in there?
Okay, yeah. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. What happened is when I mute you, if you're in the phone line waiting, they can't hear you in the phone line. But you should be good now.
Okay.
I'm talking about Akoye.
Yeah, yeah, they said I was super quiet. I'm like, yeah, I'm talking. I don't know why you can't hear me. But go ahead.
But yeah, man, so what I was looking at, what I was thinking is, what I've also noticed over the past few weeks is that there's no, deep crossing routes. Now, that might be an O-line thing or something like that. But, even going back to the play that Dak got hurt on and against the Patriots, I mean, that winning play was a deep crossing route to CD. And I haven't seen a whole bunch of it. It's almost like they cut out, 25% of the plays that they've been running, and all of a sudden they're just all gone.
The playbook does seem it doesn't seem the same to me. I'm with you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's truth. Yeah, that's true.
And so, Corey, I hit Sky with this almost a week ago, and I'll ask you, since you're here now and I got you, is is there any chance, because it doesn't make any other sense, is there any chance that they're just hey, we got the division, we're going to make the playoffs, we're saving something for the playoffs? I know the likelihood of that is astronomical, but it's the only thing that I can think of that makes any kind of sense, man.
Terrible coaching.
That's where conspiracy theories come from, brother. When the answer is sitting right in your face, man. Inefficiency is inefficiency, man, and we're just inefficient. Yeah. I don't think that they with the mentality of Mike McCarthy, with the mentality of Dak, and the way these guys are. I doubt that they're saying we're so great offensively that we want to curtail this so that they don't know what we're doing in the playoffs. Now, if we were playing like New England back in the day where they were going undefeated, Randy Moss was just catching everything, I can see if you were saying that then, let's save something. But we're not playing lights out to be curtailing anything. So I doubt that would be something that they're saying in the game room, especially when you're keeping starters out there when we're up in games, even to try to practice certain things, and we're still throwing the ball late in games like we were last week. We throwing the ball late in games. Why? Because we know we need to get it right. So we're still trying to practice stuff. And then you see, as soon as we started, got close again after that pick six, Zeke comes right back in there, and he comes out there aggressively because they really understand, hey, we were throwing the ball because we're trying to get some momentum going into the next game. I don't think they were throwing the ball because they just don't understand that this offense is struggling. They're throwing the ball late in games because they're trying to get this momentum up. So I doubt that they're curtailing anything.
I agree.
Dak's only throwing pick sixes in the fourth quarter when we're up by 14 points. Not because he doesn't understand that we're up by 14 points and we need to run the ball. They know that the passing game isn't working properly, and they need as many reps in live game action as possible. So that is, I hear you. I know you got to reach for it, but
we saw that.
I think that's a reach.
We saw that in the Denver game. He came out and said it. He said, why is Dak Prescott in the game and you guys are losing 30-10 or whatever? And he said, because we need to get him back into the rhythm of things. He's been out for 2.5-3 weeks. But because of the bye week and stuff, so we wanted to keep him in there. And some people were upset with it, but that he even said exactly what you said, Akoye. We're trying to get into this rhythm. I don't know why. I don't necessarily think they're holding something back on game day in a regular season. That is a major red flag. I feel like if it came out that your offensive coordinator or head coach is saying, you know what, this 25% of this playbook, we're gonna save that. We're gonna save that because of playoffs. First of all, ain't Jack clinched, number one. clinch first, and then let's talk about saving stuff if you want to do that. Number two, like Koye said, I just can't see Dak Prescott going into those meeting rooms and saying, yeah, we're not going to run this because we want to save it. Can't see it. Can't do it. Won't do it. We want winners. No, seriously.
It's a glory hole.
Well, with saying that, actually, is there a chance that there's like a lack of confidence in the people out on the field? You know what I mean? With Zeke being hurt the way he has, not having wide receivers, stuff like that. I mean, could that be more? I mean, that's way more logical. Like, hey, we can't run this because these guys. Like, I'm not confident in these guys doing that. But it's been so dramatic that it's been a hindrance to where, like, they're just like basically slamming their head up against the wall almost. It was like, hey, we're still running this A-gap dive. Just because we know that, this right up Zach Martin, and we know he's good, but I don't trust trying to go behind Connor McGovern, or we're not sure Lyle's in shape yet. I mean, that's not really a concern now, but would that be more likely in that aspect?
I agree. I'd rather it be that. I think it is that, to be honest with you.
That's my greatest frustration with Zeke still playing throughout the struggles. We're struggling offensively anyway. So this should be time, if you're going to struggle anyway, with him there or not, right? Struggle now. Mm-hmm. Don't carry this struggle into the playoffs. At least we know one thing's true. A healthy Zeke changes a lot of these things that we're complaining about. Seriously. Yeah. Whether the offensive line is blocking well or not. If you go back and look at it, and I can run the film if you guys want me to, but if you go back and look at a lot of the long runs by Zeke and Pollard this season, they weren't just clean, wide open holes. We don't have Emmitt Smith-style holes like we had before. These guys are making their guy miss. Yes. They're one guy that they have to make miss in the hole, sometimes in the backfield. Zeke was making guys miss and jump cutting out of things, spinning out of things, and then making a play, and then taking 2 or 3 guys with him on his way to another. It might be a 12-yard run, but when you look at the stats, you say, okay, that was 12 yards. But it was 12 yards with 5 hits, on that particular play. Zeke can't be asked to do that right now. You see what I'm saying? So a healthy Zeke cures a lot of these things, and he erases a lot of these things that we complain about when they miss on a block. They might miss on the block. They've been doing it all years, but now it affects us because we don't get anywhere. It's just a 3 yards and a puff of smoke now. Whereas before it was, okay, he makes a guy miss in that hole, or he just straight derails a guy and takes him another 7 yards. Or Tony Pollard will make his guy miss and he's gone. That's what's been happening. It hasn't been perfect blocking anyway.
Right.
So a healthy Zeke and a healthy Tony changes a lot of the things that we're complaining about, but we're not giving ourselves a chance. We're giving ourselves a chance by giving Tony some time off, but right now it should be Clemens and that kid Hardy running the ball right now. Let Zeke sit down and let's struggle because we're struggling anyway. It's not like Zeke's playing now and, he's still, killing it, and we're like, we know he's hurt, but he's killing it. We got to keep him in here because he's our offense. It's not like that's happening. If that was happening, I can understand trying to get to the playoffs by running Zeke, but he should be resting while we're struggling, and then in the playoffs we can go hard.
Thanks for the call, DJ. I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. No problem. Appreciate it.
Yep. Yeah, totally agree. And this is why my frustration with Ezekiel Elliott still being in there during that time. I felt like Tony Pollard, had he been featured, Akoye, could have been doing some of those things. Does he have the vision of an elite Zeke? Maybe not. But I've seen Tony Pollard make some great cuts, and I've seen some plays in that Washington game where I was like, "Damn, Clement, if that was TP, he might have been ghost because he can make you miss."
Play the game. When we talk about Connor McGovern, he cleared a hole when Zeke's first play of the game, and Zeke saw it. He couldn't cut to get to it.
Can't cut.
But it was wide open. Like Zeke ran right into the back of
I know exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
Instead of running into the hole to the left, it was right there off tackle. He bent in to the right, and then it was there. That cutback lane was right there. He couldn't get to it.
There's another play where I think it was a double block down from Lyle Collins and Zach Martin, and then you had Jeremy Sprinkle kind of rainbowed his guy. I like to use that term. Kind of had his guy loop around.
Yep.
Oh my gosh!
I saw it.
If he would have just cut back, it might have been Ghost. Well, I don't know if he'd have been Ghost. It's Zeke for we're talking about. But if that was Tony Pollard, that might have been a touchdown. So, and that was my frustrations with not featuring Tony Pollard. I get it. He's your $90 million running back. You're going to feed me. Everybody want to say that, oh, well, it's his pass blocking. Listen, bro, what good has it done? is what I'm saying in the last 6 weeks. So
if we were like killing it because he's pass blocking to death, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, Zeke, you said I blocked by Zeke?
What good is it done?
You got Zeke at left guard, you know what I mean? Then okay, cool.
Do you know how much I'm not trying to say the dude's better. I'm just saying Tony Pollard, you can do some crazy good cool things with him.
You want to say it better. Go ahead.
I'm not.
You try not to say. You want to say it. He want to say it. I can see you. I can tell. I read your soul, man. You right at the edge of your seat. Like, I'm not trying to say he's better, but do you know that he can do way better things?
Tony Pollard is better than Ezekiel Elliott right now.
Okay, yeah, it's easy. That's easy.
Right now. But healthy Ezekiel Elliott, that's a little bit different story. But that's what makes
each other, man.
They complement each other when they're healthy, right? But that's what makes it so frustrating is that, all right, Zeke, man, you hurt. I know if I got TP in there, I can make him route somebody up. I can motion them out. I can jet sweep them. I can have them come out the backfield on a flare. I can hand the ball off to him. I just feel like, just feature him real quick. Let's see what we can get. Because look at the Saints game, right? Saints game is a perfect example. Mm-hmm. If you got a Tony Pollard, if you got Ezekiel Elliott, he not busting no 50-yard touchdown run. So you know how you talked about, just establish the run, attempt eventually, something will shake. Well, ain't nothing going to shake with Zeke, but I know it's going to shake with Tony Pollard. So if you are holding me for 3 quarters or 2.5 quarters,
that's the guy you run 30 times.
That's the guy you give the ball to because all it take is one.
Because three of those plays will be 20, 30, 50. He got 100 yards in 3 plays. You might have ran them 20 times, and the other ones were 3-4 yard plays. It doesn't matter though. Right. It doesn't matter though. The threat is there. So you right on the head with that.
I'm going to go ahead and switch your audio too since we done with the phones here, brother.
Bet that.
You good?
I'm still muted.
All right, can you hear me?
Yep. There we go. I can hear you loud and clear now.
Yeah, there we go.
Sound good.
All right, I missed the super chat earlier. My fault here.
Super chat
from Spot. Can you save me? If you're still in here, Spot, appreciate the $4.99 donation. He said, "Do you really think Dak wants more offensive line experiments?" Hell no. I'm pretty sure Dak don't. But they got to figure something out. That's when we were talking about potentially moving Lyle Collins over there to what's his name. Yeah, we're done with the phone line, so no more calls here. Let me end that.
Goodbye.
All right. Oh. Uh-oh. You there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I knew that was going to do something stupid. Wait a minute. Give me a mic check one more time.
Mic check. 1, 2.
All right, we good. All right, yeah. Something had messed up for a little bit, but we straight now. All right, man. Get down here. We back. That kind of threw me off a little bit. I don't know if you heard the little background noise, but we straight.
Yeah, I heard a little bit of it.
We straight. I saw something in the chat here, y'all. I think it was Stevie Mack said the game will be moved from 1:00 on Sunday to 4:15. Apparently, there was something else I saw. Oh, somebody reminded me. We didn't bring this up. I was gonna make fun of Urban Meyer, but whatever. Bro. Urban Meyer was fired. He's a new Petrino apparently. But the Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins is out for the rest of the regular season. So I know we're jumping ahead, right, Akoye, with the Cardinals game, but I think that Cardinals game could end up being a very important game for seeding. Even if it's not number 1, it's potential to be number 2 or 3.
Number 2 for sure, yeah.
Yeah, and they won't have D
Hop. How this week shakes out. If we can tie with everybody this week or with one of those 2 top teams, because everybody has 3 losses in front of us. Yeah. So if we can tie one of those guys this week, going into that Cardinals game could be crucial for us. You know what I mean? So
we're 1 game out of the best record in the National Football League, and in the way things have been going, you would never think that. One game.
The way we're talking, you would think that it's like this is a crap show.
1 game.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
and
think so.
The way the Cowboys can get the first seed is a 3-way tie between Tampa, Dallas, and Green Bay. They can't get it if they tie with Tampa because of the game they lost earlier, which questionable.
Facts.
But
I'll take 2 seed.
Yeah, they can win the division this week. Cowboys win. Washington lost. The division's locked up. I'll say this.
Go ahead. You go and say it first.
No. I was going to talk about resting, but go ahead.
If we even look like we about to lose to the Giants,
man, listen.
I'm already telling y'all right now ahead of time, bro. You're not going to see politically correct, articulate Akoye.
Watch this.
You're going to see... Yes, you're going to see a lot of that. You're going to see Hood Ninja Akoye, and I don't think y'all gonna like it. So I'm prepared to lose some subs. It's on because I'm dead seriously gonna explode if we look like we looked against Washington against the Giants, for real. So we better not.
I said that going into the Washington. I said if we lost to Washington going into the Washington game, I was going to explode. If we win, I won't explode. I'll be upset if we win the way we won, though. But if we lose, I mean, I don't want to put that out there, but come on, man. This team is terrible. This is a bad team. This is why we didn't break down the X's. What is it? Mike Glennon is. You might not have a Saquon Barkley. He's out. No Xavier McKinney. John Ross. What's the cat's name? Kadarius. If the boys don't go out here and get right, like we can't have them coming out here looking like
Atlanta. They should look like Atlanta. It should be a 40 burner, and they shouldn't score more than 10 points.
They better not come out here looking like him. Can't get right. They need to get right. Okay, we need to go to the boom boom room.
Yeah, facts.
What the boom boom room? Go out.
Right. Where it's at? Let's get there. Let's go, man.
Shoot,
That's
man.
crazy.
We need to be coming up on New York on the Giants. Like, you want your cornbread?
You go eat your cornbread.
Yeah, I want my cornbread.
Right. Now come out this week and say, they should say again, like, we definitely gonna win this game. Like, come out and say it this week too, man. Say it every week. Cause that's what we need, man. It's like that woke us up last week. Maybe it'll wake us up this week, man. But then it will be this week. It'll be kind of like called for. Washington still has some life, and we said it. This team,
they was on a 4-game win streak.
Yeah, this team was not Washington, bro. So we should not struggle, and that will show us that if we do, though, it shows that we're playing down to the level of our competition.
Correct,
and that is a problem.
And they weren't really doing that at the beginning of the year. I mean, they blew these boys out earlier in the season. They blew out the Panthers in a way. You know, that fourth quarter weird stuff happened. They blew out the Eagles. You know, they was just putting 40 on all these dudes, right?
The film has caught up to us, man.
Film, and I think competition has tightened up a little bit too. I mean, the teams that we've played over the last, the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Broncos, they're not as bad as the Eagles and the Eagles. They actually lost
the Vikings, and New England hasn't lost a game.
New England, that's true.
Since we beat them, haven't lost anything.
I forgot to show you this little graphic here, Akoye, and why I'm really confident in this defense moving forward. They're a traveling defense. Since week 1, the defense has only given up 18.5 points per game on the road, 14 total takeaways, 5-1 record, and these are the quarterbacks they face: Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Kirk Cousins, and Mac Jones. And they've caused multiple turnovers with 3 of those quarterbacks there: Mahomes 2, Herbert 2, Mac Jones 2. So, this defense can definitely travel. The problem is, Koye, and I'll end it on this. Your defense, if it's going to be that great, and you need to be complemented with a run game.
Yep.
And the Cowboys don't have that right now, and they have to find that. I'm not comfortable going into the playoffs having to be a 45 pass yard or pass attempt team. Don't want to do that.
Can't do it.
All right. With that said, man, let me get into the chat. Appreciate you guys joining here. Stevie Mack said, "Are we allowed to smack the hell out of Kellen if the offense is stale again this week?" I mean,
y'all see Kellen at Buffalo Wild Wings. You slap him good. Goddammit.
One of them Jones, boy. I tell you. Come on back here, Kellen. Come on to the back, Kellen. I gotta have a conversation with you.
Let me holler at you real quick, young boy. Come here. Let me talk to you.
Look at the flowers. Just look at the flowers.
Oh, hit him with the carol. That's my scene right there. She said, "Look at the flowers.
Look at the flowers." Yeah.
That was my scene right there.
I'm serious.
Carol hard body.
Yo, they sleep on Carol. I'm watching that right now. I wasn't gonna tell y'all, but I'm kind of forcing myself to go through it again. But and Carol's character development is so crazy. How she was just that sweet little scary little old lady, and she turned into a gangster real quick.
Yeah, I love Carol, man. Carol and Rick. I like Rick when Rick tore dude up.
Rick be tripping, bro.
Man. Yeah, Rick was crazy back then. Rick got too nice. Yeah, he got too nice, man.
Rick get a lot of people killed with his decisions too.
Yeah, Rick too nice, man. He act like this. It's still the regular world out there, bro. You gotta go ham, Rick.
Yeah, now
we need a Shane. We need a Shane out here. We need Shane at offensive coordinator. We don't need Rick. We need Shane. Need a murderer.
I like that.
We need a murderer, Mr. Steal Your Girl. I ain't playing with nobody.
I mean, if we keep it a bean, You sound like we need Negan. That's what you sound like.
Yeah, we need a baseball bat with the barbed wire. Let's go.
Nigga said, you piss your pants yet? You going to in a few minutes. That's what we need. We need Negan out there with his little whistling ass.
I love Negan, man.
Yeah.
That was funny, man.
All right, man.
That was a good reference right there. We got to talk movies and shows, man. I'm watching.
Man, we know in the
right
chat
now.
we was talking about all that, but you and Vach was going on. You talking about it?
Yeah, man. That's my. I mess with movies all day, man.
Yeah.
The Witcher. I'm watching that right now.
I watched that first season. Did it come out with another one?
Yeah, it just came out. That's why I'm rewatching the first season, and I'm gonna roll right into the second season. I'm binge watching it.
Okay. Hey, we'll have to do that. Hey, listen. For those who don't know what we're talking about, this is The Walking Dead. So y'all, if y'all are into the show or whatever, you can check it out. But man, me and you might have to do a separate podcast with Vach, because I know Vach is into that.
I've been
type
telling
stuff
Vach,
too.
let's go. Yeah, we too busy with this, but I'm telling you, I'm not playing. It's not for effect. I would love it. Let's go. Like, that's what I like to do, man.
Yeah,
because
so we it's obvious we kind of got a versatility in regards to pop culture and stuff like that.
Yep.
So I'm down for that. If y'all down for that, let us know. We might do that.
100. Let's do it.
But all right, man, I done kept you forever. I don't want you getting in trouble, man. Let me get you up out of here, bro.
I wake up in trouble. It's about you gonna mix up to the top or the bottom of that trouble. That's all. But you wake up in trouble every day, man. I twist to the top. That's all.
Let them know where they can find your work, man, and so they can plug into it.
You can find me at Akoye Media. Akoye Media on YouTube.
He said Media.
Media.
Just switch it all around. Akoye Media.
Yeah, exactly. But you can find me at Akoye Media on YouTube, man. At AK Clips or Akoye Clips. I'm sorry, on TikTok, and also Akoye Media on IG. Definitely like and subscribe. Make sure you guys are sharing content, both this and content on my channel, because YouTube, man, I don't know what it is, man. I ain't gonna talk too much about them. I don't know what it is, but the videos that I do that I know have virality, they get pushed somewhere. I don't know. But a video that I do that I don't really care about will get 20, 30,000 views. I'm like, well, damn, who's seeing that versus
I'm gonna tell you what's
like
going on, bro.
the hometown glory video. I'm like, that should have been shared everywhere. But what's going on? It just stopped at 3,000, just stopped flat.
Big Bank is paying attention. When I mean Big Bank, I mean the mothership. But I talk to you about that off air.
Oh yeah, let's talk.
They see what's
I'm about to get gangster with him. Like, oh, y'all want me to turn up? You see, I'm changing it. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna keep. You want me to do more? I'm gonna get better and better. So keep
all right,
Shane.
Me, I see you, Shane.
Exactly. Yeah, you hear it. You hear it.
Yeah, I heard it coming out. I had it
Lori, I'm coming for you, Lori. Don't play with me. That's my baby too.
What man said?
Is that?
What man
Who
said,
baby is that? It's like they need Mari or something. Like,
I'm the pappy that did, baby boss. That's what Shane said. I don't give a good goddamn, Rick. You got to go, fam. This my camp.
He said that American pie is worth killing my homie over. I got to get it. Like, what's up? What you want to do, dog?
They crazy.
He's like, what you? He put a knife down in between. Like, what you want to do, dog? Like, I'm gonna take you on a walk. Let's go on a walk, Rick. What you want to do? He tried to kill me.
And then Rick knew halfway too. Rick was like, "You sure this is where we want to go, Shane? This is where they at?" And Rick was like, or Shane was like, "Yeah." You're like, "Man, you gonna have to make me kill your ass, dog." I want one more time, Shane. Ain't nobody out here. Is this where we want to be?
Shane like, yeah, right over here.
Yeah, fool, right over here. Okay, turn around.
Like, okay. Rick like, all right, man. I guess I got to kill this bull.
Gotta talk about this. Hey, I appreciate y'all for sticking through, man. This has been a fire show. This might be one of my favorite ones we did, Akoye.
Yeah, this was funny as hell.
This might be
my
favorite ones we did, man.
This was funny as hell. I like it, man. Appreciate it. I can't wait for next week, man.
Appreciate y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and press this button, man. What we got going on today? Later today, my guy Mauricio Rodriguez continues to kill it on the Primetime, A to Z Sports Primetime. Make sure y'all check that out. Also, AtoZSports.com/Dallas. All articles are up there. We got great writers. Check that out as well. Appreciate y'all for rocking with us. If y'all can on the way out, man, drop them fire emojis. That'll help as well. Get this algorithm popping too, man. Akoye.
Oh, that count? What did fire do?
Well, not the fire, just the engagement.
Oh, all right. I'm about to say they watched the fires. So I'm about to say drop fires. These fires of glory hole. Let's go.
No, they did. Yeah, right. They like it's the engagement. So the numbers.
Oh, all right.
In,
I was about to say, like, what's up?
Just anything to help us brothers out, man.
Teach me, young guru.
Now, law to one. that's the Godfather. That's the one.
Man, Law got 3 brothers that look just like him. I swear to God, because I don't know how the hell Law is everywhere, man. I seen him in the Giant last week, and I'm like, ain't you supposed to be in Dallas on? He was on Live and in Giant at the same time.
You know what Law is? I'm Negan. We everywhere, bro. What that say?
Everywhere.
Nigga said, "Who are you? Negan. Who are you? Negan. I'm everywhere. We everywhere, Cowboys.
I'm doing the intro. The Walking Dead getting the intro now, man. It's too late.
Let's go, bro. Appreciate y'all, man. Love y'all. We out of here. Make sure y'all lock in. Hit that like button. Share this content and subscribe, bro. We out. Peace. Real quick. I gotta come back here real quick. I just saw that it is Miss Jackie's birthday, man. I'm gonna go ahead and let this play a little bit because I want y'all to tell Miss Jackie, happy birthday. Miss Jackie been a day one on this channel from the time it started. So, happy birthday, Miss Jackie. Akoye, they can hear you still, I think.
Definitely. Happy birthday, Miss Jackie. You everywhere. It's a lot of y'all that do transverse a lot of the channels, but you definitely one of them I see everywhere. No matter who channel I'm on, you showing love and you consistent and supportive. So happy birthday. I'm going to drink a shot to you today. I ain't been drinking lately, but I'm going to get buzzed for Miss Jackie today.
Let me see if I can.
Cheers.
Let me see if I can give y'all the Stevie Wonder.
Definitely Heffy too. I see her in there. Peace.
No, I'm just playing. But no.
I was about to start clapping and giving you the Stevie Wonder. Let's go.
Hey, happy birthday, Miss Jackie. Thank you for your support, man. You've been an awesome fan. Thank you so much. With that said, y'all, I'm gonna let y'all go out with some little music real quick, man. Appreciate you.